Welcome to Baker's channel where stories unfold, covering trials, dramas untold. Grab your seat, settle in, start the show. Courtroom clashes, the fun we bestow. Baker's channel, action's hot, dramas and fun, all we've got. Discuss, debate, break it down. Baker's channel, just the best in town. Lawyers spar, tensions high, sparks fly. We laugh, we learn, dive into the why. Join the chat, have your say, it's your place too. Every twist, we're here for you. Baker's channel, action's hot, draws and fun, all we got. Discuss, debate, break it down. Baker's channel, just the best in town. Damn, please let join the crowd. Baker's channel, we're live and loud.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, what in the world you are today.
Hey
Jamie,
guys,
I've been hooking up with a guy today.
you have.
Yeah, thought I'll
He's a
try
mystery
something new.
man. Mystery man. Who is he?
Well, you know I like my short kings.
Mm-hmm.
So I hooked up with Dave today. Don't tell his wife. We
Baker
went
and Dave back together.
yeah, well, we didn't drink, so it wasn't really a comeback.
Well, no, now you could have an actual conversation.
It was so weird because we had his in-laws and his wife's friend, Dave and Mass. So we kind of spoke in 3 different languages. So at some point I just said to Dave, jeg kører hjem, så kan du få et rundt ud på båden. And he just looked at me and said, yeah, whatever you said. Well, it means have fun on the boat.
Oh, you met Mass too?
Yeah.
Have you met
Nice
him
guy.
before? Or was that
Nice
the first
guy.
time?
No. That's the first time.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, statistically, Dave is the guy I've seen most, and probably the guy who lives furthest from me that I have met.
yeah.
So,
Twice now. I mean, right? 3 times. Oh, yeah, and I forgot about Tennessee. Sorry.
Good afternoon, Jamie, and my favorite sweet.
Hi, Whiskey. Miss you.
I didn't. Hey, Christine, and CJ Lorraine, and Palola's mom. I am actually driving a car for 4 hours actually helped my back. So me going out driving for 3 hours tomorrow, maybe I'll be ready to fight Monday.
Yeah.
Because Monday could be a twofer. We don't know how soon they will seat the jury. Probably not in the Tellis case. But rumor has it. No, I'm an idiot. That's Tuesday.
Tuesday is...
Courtney Clenny.
Yeah.
Sorry. Monday won't be a twofer. Don't listen to me ever.
Tuesday might be a twofer.
Tuesday might, as I said, Tuesday might be a twofer. Monday might not be nothing.
Yeah.
Might be nothing. Because nothing's happening Monday. Ja, almost first. Artie Bear, this trial will be wild. Hopefully.
Mm.
Guten Morgen, Astrid. It's actually 6 in the evening. Don't spoil it, Puddletown. Peter.
Aw, Peter.
Yeah, he got mad yesterday because you yelled at him about the bad link.
Oh, that was me, huh?
I clearly remember you saying, why is he sending us all these links? They don't work. And I said, hey, Jamie, it was nice of him. No, because Jamie is so mean.
I'm the worst.
Soy La Carissa. She joined us on The Expert this morning.
Like on the stream?
Yeah.
Aw.
She want to be an angel? Nah. Go on the expert? Yeah.
Carissa, come on.
Hey, anybody? No Sweden. Fedorowski, you should go rewatch Mo's newsy news from yesterday morning. I think you will be filing racism charges against her. Mette Marit, your crown princess, was met, and Håkon was Hakan. It was worse than my southern accent. Helen from Holland, hello. And Chris Mullen, you must be going to bed. Hey, Jesse.
Now it's Jesse, Josie, Jody.
Well, she's not. She's never happy with the names I give her. Hey, Sophia. Good to see you, Miss V. I am having an energy drink. Are there videos of me and Dave hooking up? He took a lot of videos. I was talking a lot about Danish history. Hey, Emma.
Hi, Irma.
Hey, Peppermint PJ.
Peppermint PJ, I love it.
You've been out filming today for Edorowski? Nicola Maxwell, coffee time.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Mary, and Mom of 10, and beautiful waterfall. Hospice, yes, hate crimes won't be tolerated. I will go British police on everyone.
Watch out, guys.
Yeah, I will charge people.
He's crazy.
Yeah, I made sure to stay away from the Swedes. Well, that's why I had to come on and stream for you guys, so I could just get it out of my system. Jamie would never do that to me. She's too sweet. Peter, is she threatening you right now?
Peter knows.
She clearly has high standards. She does. Yes, Jamie is on camera. It's Tuesday.
It is.
Yeah,
Saturday.
she tries.
I thought you were joking, but I was correcting you. Saturday, I'm not working, so here I am. You can come back now.
Should we just restart the show?
No.
Oh, yeah, really? Yeah, she tried to pronounce Norwegian names. That was quite a treat. Seems like much longer. Well, when it's fun, time slows down. Maybe.
Yep.
Shackles oatmeal. So good to see you. Yeah, that's what I said. You were up late. Hey, Debbie Blair. Shaquille Oatmeal is a good name. It's one of the best on the internet. Genitals is still my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Nick.
Sorry. That was right in my ear.
Hey, Panella.
Hey, Vanilla.
Funny thing, Dave's mother-in-law is from Stockholm, which is the capital of Sweden. She's easier to understand than Dave's wife because she has what's called Skånsk accent. So that was fun. Finally understanding a Swede. Hey, Nancy P., Minnesota. Aaron Hack. Lawyer's daughter from Charleston. It finally stopped raining. It's been a weird, muggy day today. It's kind of like it was overcast when I left this morning. Well, I left at 7:30. And then the sun was out at the museum. And when I went home, it started raining. And then it just turned muggy. Ugh.
It is beautiful today. It's like 72 and windy. My favorite weather. I have a sweatshirt on because of it. I love it.
Oh, I'll take some Dr. Peppers. Jamie
Yeah.
always looks beautiful. She does.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, don't feel bad for her because just go back and watch the 2 videos of him in a suitcase. Case. Yes, that was Chloe. She lives with Jamie now.
Yeah. She's my foster dog.
Baker has issues with people who actually work. Jamie, it's against his socialist ways. No, in a socialist paradise, you should work more. We had our PM come out earlier this year and say, well, maybe because of the kerfuffle in the Ukraines, people should get away from that notion leaving work at 4. She's the PM of the party who fought for an 8-hour working day. But now, because of the kerfuffle in the Ukraine, we should work more. Then 2 weeks later, the surplus or our national budget came out, and they had like 36 billion in a surplus. So that went away quite fast. Didn't talk that much about it.
Mm.
But I got some new things for a future giveaway
What?
while at the museum. I got Norse gods and goddesses. It's if you have if you want to paint, you can say, "Oh, this is." I don't know. I can read it. Here, binding Fenris. Fenris is the big bad wolf, and look, he has his hand in its mouth, and it'll bite it off. So he's a one-armed god. But then you can paint it, Jamie, and you can learn
Oh,
that
wow.
Tyr was one of the bravest gods. He was the god of war and the greatest swordsman among the Aesir, a son of Odin and Frigga. Tyr was the patron of the warrior and was often called upon when a well-wielded sword would decide the day. He was the half-brother to Thor and frequently accompanied the thunder god in his travels. Fenris, the wolf, was the offspring of Loki and a hideous giantess. Oh, Loki and a hideous giantess. That's a female giant. His 2 siblings were Hel and the serpent Jormungandr. That's not what we called it. These creatures brought terrible evil to the world, and Odin had to deal with them before they threatened the world of Asgard. Hel was thrown into the depths of Niflheim, where she was to reign in the lands of the dead. Jormungandr was thrown into the sea, where Thor later caught him. Odin brought Fenris to Asgard in hopes of taming the beast. The wolf grew to an incredible size, and soon it was deemed that the creature needed to be bound to ensure the safety of all. The Aesir convinced Fenris to try on bindings in order to test his strength. Twice the wolf broke the bonds, so the dwarves made a 3rd chain, Gleipnir. It was deceptively slender, but extremely strong. Fenris agreed to test the strength of this chain only if one of the Aesir would leave his hand in the wolf's mouth as a pledge of faith. No one but Tyr was brave enough to do so. Unfortunately, when the wolf could not break the 3rd chain, he bit Tyr's hand off at the wrist. Even with only one hand, however, Tyr was still the finest swordman amongst the Aesir. Then you can read it to your kids and talk about. That's the story about how Loki stole the hair of Sif. That's Thor's wife. I thought that would be a good little giveaway if you have kids. And you can learn about the true religions. Oh, you're going to get in trouble. And then I found a Myth of the Vikings, a vivid retelling of 15 traditional Norse myths spanning the dawn of time to the end of the world. The themes of war, betrayal, courage, and wisdom are explored in stories of Odin, the gods of Asgard, and the frost giants. Learn about the trials of the trickster Loki, the rage of the thunder god Thor, and about Freya, the goddess of fertility, magic, and war.
Wow.
Who I have tattooed on my arm. So I thought those could be good gifts.
They're cool.
Yeah. So we have to do an anti-grift giveaway. And Nicola have read this one. So that's a funny thing. I've never seen it before. But yeah, it looks kind of like for the younger people.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave's in chat. My father-in-law says thanks for the gammeldansk. I bet he'll like it more than you do.
What is it?
It's kind of. You would probably think it's just as bad as my lord. I love it, but it's a traditional Danish herb drink that there's a lot of herbs and spices in it. People hate it. I love it.
All right.
Well, it could help with the Delphi case if the Delphi case had anything to do with the True North religion. Actually, the Odinism, I found this out because I was trying to look into it to see what their beliefs were, to kind of do, maybe compare it to what we used to believe in. And I found out it was a super racism old Danish lady who invented it. She lives in Florida now. Yeah, we drink it for breakfast, and we drink it as a chaser for beer, and it's good. It's not bitter. It's good. It gives you hair on the chest. You took religion at community college, and we briefly went over the Norse mythology stuff, but I kept reading. I love that stuff. Yeah, I would love to, because I was in Brandy's chat yesterday, and someone was talking about books. It could be fun to read something like that instead of always reading. Well, Jamie won't be there if it's not smut, sexy books, but reading and discussing stuff like that. Scott McGinnis. Yeah, it's an old Danish lady in Florida who invented Odinism. It's heavily inspired by a certain painter.
I'll listen. I don't only read smut books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but North mythology is good because it's written to be told. It's back then they had the Skjal who went around and retold the stories, so they're it's like fairy tales, so it's an easy way to read them. Oh, I didn't see the Boone hearing with her. What was the other one she showed yesterday? Yeah. I won't read a smexy book.
I don't think I'd want Baker to read a sexy book to me. They're pretty raunchy. I don't know about that.
You don't find it interesting when my heavy Danish accents go, "Hey, Mr. Pizza Delivery Man. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't have any monies to pay for my pizza. Could you please come in and we can find out another way to do it?"
Oh my God, stop it. Okay, now I do. All right, let's do this.
This is what the world needs. Me reading the script to nature movies.
Oh my God.
Jamie, we are straying. We shouldn't be straying. Because we should be really. This is serious. Miss Boone was in court.
Mm-hmm.
She had filed her motion. She wanted her hard copies. She wanted her restraints taken off. And there's more. Well, it was Sylvester Stallone who did one of those. Jamie didn't know that. Italian Stallion, look it up.
He did what? He read a sexy book?
Nope. He was in a softcore movie called The Italian Stallion, I believe.
Oh.
Scott McGinnis, she excelled in everything she ever did in life. She won a spelling bee. What did Zach do now? I don't know what Zach is saying. So
they're chatting. I don't know. I didn't catch all of it.
Separate 2 egg yolks. Set aside the white. Make a tablespoon blonde raw and 0.5 ounces of milk. When
Oh
hot,
my God.
add half a cup of white chocolate.
Madam Clerk.
Steve Ketchner on behalf of the state.
William J. for the state. Ma'am, good morning. Can you raise your right hand? Madam Clerk will swear you in.
You swear or affirm that the testimony you give shall be.
All right, ma'am, good morning, rather. Could you state your full name and date of birth for the record for me?
Sarah Boone, 10-10-7-7.
Okay, we had a hearing this Monday on August the 5th. The court had entered a scheduling order and notice of hearings. Ma'am, that was sent to you by way of mail. Did you receive that?
I did yesterday.
Okay, all right. I know that you had brought up concerns regarding mailing, and I just wanted to go through the historics with regard to the mailing. As you may recall, back on June.
Young economist, you are mistaken.
Yeah, I was just reading that too. I was like, are you sure about that?
Zachariah is a lot of things, but a nice guy. Mom of 10. Dave from MLS fled the country after being arrested for solicitation of equine lactation.
Is that milking a horse?
That's milking a horse, yes.
Zach's great.
Hey, Standing Stones.
28th, we had a hearing where I granted Ms. Cushman's motion to withdraw and addressed your forfeiture, alternatively a waiver to counsel. You were hand-delivered a copy of that order. On May 25, we had a hearing and an order was entered and a notice of hearing was set. That order was hand-delivered to you. Thereafter, there was an order setting hearing that was entered on July 29. That letter, or that order rather, was sent to you at P.O. Box 9109, Seminole, Florida 33775, which is the Orange County Corrections Department mail address for general inmate mail. That was remedied the next day. On July 30th, a certificate of service was entered to the appropriate address, identifying you, your inmate number, FDC-B4, P.O. Box 4970, Orlando, Florida 32802, which is the address that you had placed in your motion. And
yeah, Megan, I don't know. I get to channels. I was on Tom's chat yesterday, and it told me the rules. It's not like I haven't been there before, but Can you use the deep voice throughout the stream and no yelling at Jamie, using your stream as ASMR to sleep? Thank you. Hey, Fuba. No, because it really destroys my throat. Hey! Oh. Thank you so much. Have a great Saturday. And thank you so much for the help yesterday when I effed up.
Yeah, it was good to see you down here.
Yeah. You should have met Jamie, but she doesn't work. So.
Well, you started the stream like 3 hours ahead of time. I wasn't ready.
90 minutes ahead of time.
3.5 hours to be exact.
Hospice, yes. I will make a special podcast just about how to make muffins in this voice.
Your notice. That certificate of service included the notice of filing of the memorandum from the Orange County Corrections Department, Security Operations, and there was also a certificate of service providing you the Justice Administrative Commission's response to motions seeking due process costs. The next mailings was a notice of mailing of documents by your former attorney, Patricia Cashman, which was the transcripts of depositions of detectives Chelsea Copsell and Scott Lowen, which were taken on May 7th, 2024. That was e-filed on August the 1st, 2024, and mailed to you with address to you, your inmate number, FDC Dorm B, P.O. Box 4970. I apologize. P.O. Box 4970, Orlando, Florida. Did you receive those deposition transcripts?
I did.
Okay. Then the notice of delivery, would you recall when you received those transcripts?
Everything that you are stating was received on Monday.
The 5th.
Correct.
Okay. The next was a notice of delivery of digital copies of documents that was e-filed by your former attorney, Patricia Cashman, on August 1, 2024, which provided the transcripts of depositions of detectives Chelsea Copsell and Scott Lowen taken May 7, 2024 to Billy Lane on August 1st. And that was mailed to you at the same address. We've been addressing P.O. Box 4970 on August 1. Did you receive that notice?
I'm sorry, what was that for?
Notice of delivery of digital copies of documents, which reflected the deposition transcripts of the detectives I just identified to Mr. Lane.
To be honest with you, I don't know. It was a lump sum of a giant amount of paperwork, and I haven't gone through it yet.
Okay.
They had me sign about 4 or 5 different documents, so.
Okay.
So you signed documents without reading the documents. That's normally a great idea.
Yeah.
No, this is because there was some mix-up with her mailing address that was remedied Monday. So now they're just checking that she got all the stuff that she wanted, her prior lawyer stuff and some filings from court. So it's just housekeeping, and I'll bet you she will still complain about it. Yes, lump sum. I was. Isn't that when you get a lump sum of money? It's not something you do a lump sum of paper.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. Oh, how cool, Standing Stone. I hope you had a great day. Stay away from the blue people out there.
Aw, that's awesome.
For receipt.
And the last was a certificate of service that was just e-filed on May the 5th, which was provided to you as well on August the 5th. It was provided to you on August the 5th at the P.O. Box we've identified by way of U.S. mail, which was a copy of the order authorizing the defense to incur costs for private investigator and the scheduling order and notice of hearings entered August 5, 2024. Have you received both of those?
I did, and I had questions on that, please, whenever.
In just a moment, ma'am. So I know that there was a concern with regard to mailing and things purportedly not being timely provided to you. There was only one order, the order of July 29th, which was sent to the general mail delivery, and that was remedied the exact next day on July 30th. So that clerical error as to the wrong address was remedied one day after the original order was sent out on July the 29th. I just wanted to put that on the record and again, identify for you, ma'am, that nothing's being withheld from you and everything is being timely served to you as required. Now, you had questions about the JAC.
Well, Scott, this is actually how a judge should be. He should be giving her the benefit of the doubt, like every judge. Not like a certain judge you and I know, but he's also really smart because he anticipates a lot of appeals that could be coming. That's why he's really good at explaining everything to her. So she can't make an appeal and say, I didn't know that. I would put a motion in for a new jailhouse barber if I was her.
Aaron.
Order, I will revisit those in just a moment. I've got a sticky with regard to that.
And I was going to say, please, if I may, about the address. There were 2 or 3 different documents that were uploaded to the tablet. So those 3 documents, without knowing specifically which ones they are, those were also sent to P.O. Box 9101.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You were talking about supposedly just one document that was mailed to the incorrect address. It was more than one.
That's not correct. Court scoured the court file this morning, ma'am. The court has not filed anything other than what I've identified since that June 28th order, where you were representing yourself pro se. So that is incorrect.
Is it something that I need to record and bring back, or is it that big of a deal?
I can't answer that question. That may call for me providing you legal advice.
Okay.
But I can't tell you that other than the July 29th order, which was remedied the next day, everything has been sent to the appropriate legal mail address as provided by the Orange County Jail. We've had this hearing today to address a couple of things based on the scheduling order and notice of hearing that was entered August 5. The first was the digital evidence issue. I've been advised, I think through Mr. Lane, who I do see in the courtroom. Mr. Lane, if you could come on up, sir, so Madam Clerk can swear you in.
Yeah, I see you.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you should give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. All right, Mr. Lane, good morning, sir. Can you state your full name and your affiliation with Prison Break Investigations, please?
Billy Lane, Chief Investigator, owner of Prison Break Investigations.
Okay. I understand part of the order from Monday was regarding the state's digital evidence. I understand that may have been provided on a USB drive to you, Mr. Lane. I want to hear from the state with regard to that first. So either Mr. J or Mr. Cacciatore.
Yes, Your Honor. We have tendered to Mr. Lane a copy of our the exhibit list with our expected items of evidence that will be received, along with expected witnesses that, to be called at the trial. A copy of that was provided on the USB with the exhibits, the witness lists, also proposed jury instructions, and a stipulation as to victim ID for her review as well.
Okay. And when was that provided?
He's actually doing the exact same thing Judge Mommy did in the Brooks case. He's just not being anal about it. So you're not going to hate him as much as you did Judge Mommy in the end.
Provided to Mr. Lane.
Just now.
Okay. All right. The witness and exhibit list that is included on that USB, do you have hard copies?
I do, Your Honor. I would like to file them in open court.
That was going to be my next question. Okay.
And I have a copy for defense.
Okay, very good. Debbie Bruce, if we can get the copy of the witness list and the exhibits and take that from Mr. Lane and provide it to Ms. Boone.
And Your Honor, the state's position is that given that our exhibit list contains within it a witness list as well, we would ask that that document be sealed the way the witness lists are routinely sealed. A copy of that request to seal is there with the notice of the witness list on the initial page before our notice of the exhibit list.
What I have in front of me is the notice of provision of witness list and then the notice of expected evidence and witnesses of trial. I don't have an order or.
It wouldn't be an order. It would just be that first document you read, reference, the notice of provisional witness list.
Got it. Okay, thank you. All right. Anything else with regard to the expected evidence and digital evidence?
No.
Okay, so just for my own.
Well, Nicola, it's really hard to, because it should be in English, because only a few of you don't read Danish, so I can't read the Danish book. Maybe I should get that one I gave away in the last giveaway. And then we could read a chapter, talk about gods. I don't mind the judge explaining procedural law or what's expected of Sarah. He's been helpful. Yeah, and again, he's just taking darts out of the appellant dartboard, so she can't go and say, "Hey, I didn't understand that." That's not nice. Jamie is on camera today, so you can't be disappointed.
I know.
That's so mean. Oh, thank you so much, Lawyer's Daughter, for becoming a member.
Thanks for joining us. Check out the Discord.
Tomorrow on the Discord, they will be watching
Summer School.
Great movie. Never watched it.
Never seen it.
So tomorrow is it at 4 again tomorrow?
Yeah, he switched it to 4 Eastern.
So
that maybe you can come and hang out a little bit.
Yeah, maybe I'll take an hour or just jump in and say hi in the beginning. So tomorrow at 4 Eastern on the Discord will be Summer School. One of the greatest masterpieces with I don't know who in it, made by I don't know what. I believe Sean Bird when he says it's good.
Understanding there are 9 files on the USB drive that are digital in nature. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And those are all on the USB drive that is going to be provided to Ms. Boone?
Yes, they're broken down by folders.
And the folders, are the names of the folders, do they match the names in the digital evidence list?
They roughly match. I believe that on there may be some slight change of terminology from, I believe, files found on iPhone as opposed to suitcase, videos, and still shot.
Okay, all right. State, anything else to add with regard to the digital evidence?
No, I also have a copy of the thumb drive as well, as Mr. Lane has had an opportunity to copy for his client that I can tender to either send it to Mr. Lane to tender to his client.
Is that different than we've already given him?
He had an opportunity to copy it, but this would be their copy to retain.
Okay, all right. So you can go ahead and provide that. Do you want to mark that as an exhibit for the purposes of the hearing? I guess not, since it's going to be transferred directly to Mr. Lane.
Giggity.
Okay, all right. You can go ahead and do that to Mr. Lane. All right. Ma'am, or Mr. Castori, any other questions? Anything else you want to bring to my attention with regard to the digital evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ma'am, have you had the opportunity to review the notice of expected evidence and witnesses at trial document that was just provided to the court and yourself this morning?
I did.
Okay. Do you have any questions with regard to the digital evidence, which are paragraphs 1 through 9 on the first and second pages of the notice?
I don't know what the majority of them are. Is this part of the evidence that was supplied to me on all of the USB drives that was supplied also?
Yes, this is a pared down. All of the items referenced in our notice and provided on the USB have already been previously disclosed and given to defense.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Yes, on the USB drives for the laptop, it's not compatible with the USB drives for some of the files. So I cannot open a majority of what are on both of the USB drives.
What word did she just describe about the amount of things she couldn't open?
I didn't hear it. What?
She said, I can't open the majority of the files on the 2 USB drives.
Okay. Oh, duh. It's right on the screen too. Majority of.
Yeah. But let's keep watching.
What do you mean you cannot open a majority? What can you not open?
I don't know specifically which files. I know that some of them come up as videos, some of them come up as JPEG, some of them come up as different formats, but there's an entire page of multiple icons that come up, and every time I try to open one, it won't let me review it.
Okay.
So I don't know.
What does it say?
I don't know. I moved on from that to try to go to other programs. So I don't know. I figured it would be something that I might be able to speak to Billy about when he came to see me early next week. So, but I'm just stating to the court now, that's one of the problems that I'm having with the laptop.
But you said it's a majority, but you can't identify specifics for me. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is it that you're not able to look at?
It doesn't identify what they are because of the amount. When I click on a particular file, there's a file inside of a file inside of a file. So when I try to open one of the files, all these different icons come up. So if I try to click on one, it says
that would be probably a folder with files in it. So it seems like they have something called X, and inside X there might be a folder with photos and a folder with web searches, a folder with Celebrite. She just doesn't understand what it is. That's how it sounds to me.
That's what it sounds like to me too.
Yeah. Yeah, and she has his expert coming out there, but I just believe most of it is just because she doesn't understand computers. Or zip archive. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, Mads. He shared a picture on the Twitch thread of how happy Dave was when he was steering the boat.
That's cool that y'all got to meet up.
Yeah, and they got to go sailing. So Dave's a happy camper.
Mm.
And I got Mads some beer so he can wash down the suite.
available. So I keep trying to go to the next one, the next one, and the next one, but they're all the same format, so I can't open any of those.
Okay. And how many times has that happened?
The one time
One file, 10 files, 20 files, 50 files, or was it just a one time and then you moved on to something else?
I don't know how many files were in it because I didn't bother to waste my time on trying to open. I believe I tried to open about 8 or 9 of them, and then I just moved on from that folder into another folder.
And the other items in the other folder, were those accessible? Were those viewable?
For the most part, yes. I have not had a
I don't know
moment
what for the
to.
most part means.
I haven't had time yet to explore everything due to the dorm environment. So as soon as in the amount of information, the vast amount of information that he has on there, I'm trying to figure out a way where I can sit in it. I have a letter to you that I wrote to the captain, a copy for you, so you know what I'm trying to work on in order for privacy to be had. So I haven't explored both USB drives to the fullest potential that I possibly can yet. Just from the moment that I have attempted to do so, the one problem I have had was with the one folder with many icons in it. I attempted to open about 8 or 9 of them, could not, so I moved on to whatever was next.
Okay. All right. Dave?
I could add to that everything that we have provided on this USB file, we have checked. It's all on standard formats. For instance, the public surveillance video that's referenced in our notice, we included both the original
Sneaky side, thank you so much. And yes, I'm more than happy to rate Ada once in a while. She's I really love that American Sign Language angle she has on her video. I think it's a good service for people who are hearing impaired. And Ronnie is also a mod at Ada's.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome.
Yeah, she's just, again, it's just excuses on excuses on excuses, because she just like making her lawyers hate her so much they quit. It's just, again, to deny justice.
Public's files from there, and then we also had those files converted to VLC because they are easier to play in VLC. So if she clicks on that folder, she can click again on a subfolder, and she will find VLC files for where the public's video has been converted. So everything in there should be standard JPEG, VLC, or I also believe an MP4 for some audio-only files.
Okay. All right. Ma'am, do you have any other questions with regard to the digital information or digital evidence identified in the notice that the state's provided to court and yourself this morning?
That was what was just handed to Mr. Lane. So, Mr. Lane, you and I would go over that when you and I meet.
I will be meeting with you tomorrow. There is a concern that I will not be able to transfer this to Ms. Boone through the jail protocol.
I have a remedy for that. With regard to, well, let me finish with the digital. Any other concerns, ma'am, as to the items identified in this notice?
I think he had a private cell. She's in a dormitory. That's why she can't have the hard copies. But I think, no, he didn't have a private cell. He had a special room where all of it was. So he had all the boxes in there. That's why he had the hard copies. So he had his own room to do his work in. No, but they said it's VLC. Everything is formatted the right way. So they have checked that. I'm so glad this judge is holding her feet to the fire in regards to her hyperbole. We are just all over it. Yeah, the majority, and it's 2 and 3. It's she is, but in my opinion, she still haven't figured out that she is actually gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
I think she believes that she can just tell them, but it was not intentional, and then it'll say, well, jury nullification, because it's not intentional. That's fine. If you watched her doing that interview, it never dawned on her that she did anything wrong.
Yeah.
Because whenever they pushed at her, she just deflected.
Yeah, she's like, why are you acting like this was intentional? It was non-intentional. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that you didn't do something wrong, Sarah. Come on. No.
Scott, you can save her.
Yeah, Scott, save her.
I don't understand why this can take more than 5 minutes. Just show the video where she's laughing at him in the trunk and say, this, ladies and gentlemen, was the last time George spoke. We rest our case.
That's really all they need to do. How long did they say it was going to be? Did they say already?
Oh, you're thinking about the Tillis case was 10 days.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Yeah,
I
because I
thought
was
they were
sitting here
talking about this
Wednesday.
one being a couple weeks, and I was like, why though? We don't have
That's
a
why
lot of stuff.
they said 3 weeks. They believe 3 weeks. That's correct. Do you believe she didn't do anything wrong because she was drunk? She can't take responsibility for her actions. However, she's the one who decided to get drunk. That's what I hate. That it's actually cheaper to drunk drive and kill someone than being sober and killing someone. Because then, yeah, you're drunk driving. You didn't plan to do it. No, but you plan to get drunk. I think that if you go behind the wheel and drive, kill someone. I know most unalivings in America is a lot more than in Denmark, but you should have at least 50% added to your charge, because you took that pill, you took that drink, you snorted that, whatever you snorted. If you kill someone after making an active choice to get inebriated, you should have a higher sentence.
Yeah. And I believe she, my opinion is I don't believe she intentionally did it, but she did it. But even if you didn't intentionally do something and the outcome is he died, which he did, you still have to be responsible. You were there. You saw him. You knew he was in there. And she clearly, we, other than what they've said in what we've seen in the autopsy report, like she was clearly doing something afterwards too. So I honestly think she was just trying to torture that man because she was mad at him. And then the worst outcome
then it
happened.
got out of hand, and she just said, I'm gonna make him pay so he can stay in there for the rest of the night. And then she came down and he didn't breathe the next day.
And then she's like, well, and then she just starts acting like, I'm so innocent though. I didn't drink. We were just doing puzzles and it was just a good night.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I can't feel bad for her after listening, because that's pure evil when you listen to the suitcase videos. I really can't. I would give her the exact same benefit of the doubt. The state still have to prove she did it. In my heart of hearts, I believe she did it, and she's the most guilty person we have seen in a long time. The state will still have to prove it, and if they don't prove it, I will still advocate and say, well, they didn't prove it. I think they didn't do a good enough job, because that's the standard we should give every defendant. But until trial starts, I will still call her an alcoholic idiot.
Until I'm able to open them and see them, no, I do not.
Sure. Okay. State, anything else we need to talk about with regard to that issue?
Not in regards to that issue.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Lane, I'm going to ask that you take possession of that junk drive that was tendered to you in court this morning, and you advise the.
Yeah, I think if she admitted that she was drunk and didn't understand what she was doing, that it was an accident and it was because she was raving drunk, I could feel more. Well, I wouldn't be sorry for her, but I could understand her more. My problem is she kept lying about the drinking. I can't drink. I won't drink. I never drink. I can't. No, you were drunk as a skunk. We saw you straddle that bush because you had cotton mouth.
Yeah. Yes, we did. I wish we didn't.
If Lally was prosecuting this, we wouldn't even know if there was a suitcase after 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Yeah. A good question if Jorge was actually deceased.
Or that you're going to be meeting with Ms. Boone tomorrow. Is that correct? About approximately what time are you going to be meeting with her? If you know? Okay. All right. I have had the opportunity to have further conversations with Major Muhammad at the jail, including conversations regarding the physical documents. Ma'am, are you still requesting hard copies of the documents?
I am.
Okay. The jail has advised me that they've had conversations with you related to any other property or legal documents that you may need. Have you ever advised the jail that you have everything that you need and don't need anything else?
No, one of the sergeants came and spoke to me yesterday. Miscommunication of some.
Listen to this part as well, because she's going to do a Sarah again.
Where I explained to her what I'm trying to do with purging my...
Dottie for Gotti. No. Cool name. This is a top 5 name too. This is from yesterday, but my back was in so much pain yesterday, so I couldn't really do it because I had to go meet up with David and Mass today. She is well, I think she has entitlement syndrome. She believes that she is entitled to something, and she is, because she is the smartest person in any room she ever stepped into. And all of her bad luck was just because the neighbor, who was an illegal immigrant that she ratted out to ICE, wouldn't let her borrow the toilet. All her marital problem was because Jorge's family called her the white-eyed dragon lady. All of the problems she had with her drinking was probably because of her ex-husband. She's one of those people who never, ever took any responsibility in her life because I did nothing wrong. And she will believe that to the day she dies. Hey, Ada. So good to see
Ada.
you.
Property and the property department, so I can anticipate those discovery hard copies.
Was that Tracy Hall?
No, that was Hall. Her last name is Hall.
What did you just ask her?
Is her name Tracy Hall? Oh no, her name is Hall. So
yeah,
her last name is Hall.
What time will it be tonight, Ada?
So it was Hall, H-A-L-L, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But someone sent her to me to see me, so I just don't know who that was.
Who was it you communicated with yesterday regarding your personal effects that may have been in a property locker?
Miss Hall.
Okay, all right, thank you. Do you know Miss Hall's first name?
I don't know any of the officers.
Okay, all right. So in conversations with Major Muhammad, they are going to be able to...
7 Central. There will be bingo, bingo, bingo at Ada K's channel. And we might figure out to put a link in the chit chat. So you can go over and win something. Jamie, if there's any tumblers, will be joining and fighting people for a tumbler.
I love tumblers. I sure do.
Accommodate you having your paper copies. So Mr. Lane, I know that you took custody of those and have had them. So tomorrow, when you meet Ms. Boone at approximately 9 a.m., you will meet Mr. Muhammad as well. Well, let me ask this. Are you able to go to the jail today?
I can.
Okay, so.
Did you already win a tumbler, Jamie?
No.
She says she won a tumbler.
No, I haven't. I haven't got any. There was just that one day that we were over there, but I didn't win anything.
Well, maybe you won and you didn't stick around for it to be drawn.
I thought I did.
Yes, you did, Jamie. Jamie, why are you always lying?
Well, then, I don't know.
Why are you always lying?
I know for a fact that Major Muhammad is available today, and he may be expecting you to arrive today. If you are able to provide to him the banker's boxes that were identified as A and B and that jump drive, and then provide the court with a notice as to when and what time and that to whom you gave it should be Major Muhammad, those items, so we can file it in the court file. And those will then be, the digital evidence will then be provided with the laptop in accordance with the protocol that we've gone over previously, and Major Muhammad will make sure that Ms. Boone has access to the hard copies. So after conferring, well, let me ask this, State, do you have any other position with regard to the motion that was set to be heard today, the defendant's motion regarding seeking for hard copies?
No.
Okay, so for the record, then that motion will be granted. The motion for defendant to lawfully receive, review, utilize the original hard copy discovery, 2 boxes A and B, submitted to the court by former attorneys on June 28, 2024 for preparation of trial in her criminal case. As ordered, Mr. Lane will deliver those to the jail today and seek to have them delivered to Major Malik Muhammad, along with the digital, the USB drive with the digital evidence. Mr. Lane, the deposition transcripts of detectives Chelsea Copsall and Scott Lowen were purportedly sent to you on August 1st. Did you receive those from Ms. Cashman?
Yes.
Okay, were they a part of the 2 USB drives that we addressed on August 5? You have the smaller one, which was everything you digitized from the 2 boxes, and then you have the larger one of other materials that you've been given previously.
No, but I do have a drive that I can put them on and make sure they get to the jail today.
Okay, if you could make sure, sir, that when you drop off the other 2 things, digital copies, I know Ms. Boone has identified that she has physical copies, but I'd like to give her digital copies just in case. State, do you have any questions with regard to the court's directive to Mr. Lane regarding the hard copies, depositions of the detectives, or the digital evidence the state may seek to admit in trial?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ma'am, do you have any questions for Mr. Lane regarding those 3 items?
No.
Okay. Can Mr. Lane be released?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to, can he be released now?
I guess I'll see you at 9.
Okay. Sir, if you could endeavor to do that today, I would greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right. The next matter this morning is the defendant's motion for defendant's reasonable freedom and movement by allowing her to be unshackled, unhandcuffed, to function equally and comfortably while utilizing the courtroom that was hand filed with the court on August 5, 2024. Court has had the opportunity to review that motion and the law regarding restraints. State, do you have any positions at this time with regard to the defense's motion?
Your Honor, in speaking with courtroom security, we would oppose the motion, and we have Corporal Gavin Lowton available to supplement this court's.
Didn't he say that they had accommodation for her hard file, so it shouldn't be in her dorm? That's how I understood it.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, they would have some accommodation for the hard copies, but the next problem will be, as you probably rightly expect, I want the hard copies in my dorm, so I don't only have to work with them from 8 to 4, and then we'll start over again.
Knowledge on the issue.
Okay. So, ma'am, we're going to have a hearing on your motion. The state will call the corporal. He will be inquired by the state as to some concerns that they may have, and you'll be given the opportunity to ask him questions. We'll cross-examine him after the state's concluded asking any questions. Do you have any questions about that process?
Is that today?
That will be happening right now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about that process?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and call your witness. State.
State will call Gavin Lowton.
Please swear or affirm that the testimony you give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Sir, good morning. Can you state and spell your name for the record for me?
Gavin Lowton, Gavin, LWTAN.
All right. Thank you. State, you may proceed.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And what is it that you do for a living?
I work for the Orange County Sheriff's Office as a deputy sheriff.
And to what area of the sheriff's office are you assigned?
Court security.
And how long have you worked that assignment?
Over 5 years now.
And tell us, what are some of your duties within that assignment?
I super.
WB, I'll remind you of that if you can tell me how you play hide and seek with someone in a suitcase, because I still can't figure that one out.
I think it was just her. It was just her trying to be like cutesy about like, oh, they were just having a good old time playing hide and seek and painting and doing puzzles and listening to music, because that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'm gonna put you in the suitcase, right, and then I'm gonna count to 3. Like, where did he go? It's so weird. That's what you do with like little kids.
Like my nephew said, was he in there and then he was supposed to find her? That's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah, because like I said the last time we watched it, he couldn't count to 10, so it was an easier way to just so she had time to hide.
It's just
adult
stupid.
hide and seek.
No, don't make those noises.
Hey, Jamie, do you want to make puzzles? And then you can unzip the suitcase and zip me in it, nice and warm and squeezy.
Provides the deputies and 2 felony.
Don't write sexy material.
And are you familiar with the defendant in this particular case?
Just through research that I've done on her, I don't have any personal knowledge from the defendant.
And what, in regards to that research into the defendant, what is your position as the head of security regarding her request to be free from shackles?
I do not believe she should be free from shackles.
And why is it that you would come to that conclusion?
Based on her current charge of second degree murder, she also has previous domestic arrest for battery by strangulation. She has 3 separate incidents at the jail for non-compliance, where she was told to attend her court hearings or scheduled court hearings, and she refused to do so. And then even when the corrections officers told her she could be charged with contempt of court, she still refused to attend those hearings. Those kind of, when you combine all that, to me, it shows propensity for violence and not wanting to follow lawful commands and orders of law enforcement personnel.
I think this is BS testimony.
Yeah.
That she shouldn't be let out of her shackles because she denied going to court 3 times. Yeah. Adam Montgomery denied showing up at all. I still don't think he should be shackled in the courtroom. Well,
yeah, same thing with our boy Daryl. Like he just had it on his legs. He didn't have.
Yeah, she should have her hands free, but because she denied going to court 3 times, that's BS. And she showed a propensity for violence. Yes, she had DV cases prior, but have she attacked anyone or shown anything?
I haven't heard of her attacking anyone in court or doing anything.
I'm pretty sure all of her propensity for violence has something to do with a little drinky poo.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is BS.
Yeah.
What accommodations can
you wouldn't be able to manipulate his body if he was drugged and knocked out?
I think they were both drunk. They were both drunk and they were just being ridiculous. And because he got in that willingly. I mean, she didn't, it's not like she forced him in there. And they thought it was funny, I bet. And then she was like, I'll get you, MFer.
Yeah, then she probably pushed him down the stairs and thought,
and then it wasn't funny anymore. Yeah.
I'm gonna punish. But that's how it always is. We also hear that if someone might have had a little chokey choke smexy time, sometimes that goes too, and accidents do happen.
But you still have to pay for them.
Yeah, sometimes you get kids, and sometimes you go to prison.
Yeah.
To keep concealed the fact that she is shackled or restrained during trial.
So when the defendant is here, she would just be in leg restraints. She wouldn't have the belly chains. She wouldn't have handcuffs on. We've modified the leg restraints by wrapping tape around the chains. So even if she's making motion or movement, it wouldn't make noise to alert the jury as to that she's got restraints on. She would be brought in and sat at the defense table prior to the jury coming in and being seated, so they wouldn't see her walk in with restraints on. And there's a panel in front of the defense table that prevents the jury from seeing that she's got leg restraints on.
Your Honor, I don't believe I have any further questions at this time.
Thank you. Ma'am, do you have any questions for Officer Loden?
I do.
Go ahead.
First off, in your inputs research that you've done on me, the domestic violence case that I was charged with, the felony with strangulation, was dropped. I don't know if you were aware of that in your research. Yes, so I was never charged with that. Also, what 3 hearings is it that I supposedly missed on what dates?
I have those here.
I've never missed a court date. In the almost 5 years that I've been here, I've never argued. I've never hesitated.
Object to the form of the question, Your Honor.
I'm going to sustain the objection. Ma'am, you have to ask 1 fact per question.
Okay.
I am prepared to give her the date. Okay. On September 15, 2023.
What if any time is 7:20? And you replied instantly, but don't you love me?
Yeah.
That's how you make him do it.
I mean, I've seen people like climbing into dryers and stuff like that because they think it's funny. That freaks me out because I don't like tight spaces like that. So
Jamie,
What?
those movies aren't real. She really stuck in the dryer.
I seen someone do it once, and I was like, God, I would just. They were tiny and skinny, so I was like, I would never be able to fit like my shoulders into the dryer.
My gym buddy is a tiny little thing, and she could actually do it back when she was younger and more limber. And I was just, why would you do it? It's stupid.
Yeah, why? It's so stupid.
Dave says $100 that it takes longer to get to trial than her sentence after being found guilty. Well, don't they have to have all the paperwork done and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a long trial. Yes, I believe so. It wasn't her child. She has pictures of her child in a suitcase. It was her boyfriend. And she claims she went to sleep and forgot about it. But then there are 2 videos shown where she records herself laughing at him and saying, that's what you deserve for hitting me. And then she goes upstairs, don't come down until 1:30, I believe. She calls 911 the next day in the afternoon, and he has passed away because there's asphyxia because of his lungs can't expand enough to get the CO2 out of the body. So he must have been quite blue when they found him. As sin, but she still have a right to a fair trial. Yeah, especially the last one where she just cackles like a hyena. I think they should just play that, and they will find her guilty.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the times he refused to attend. October 16th, 2023, and January 28th, 2021.
And do you know what those were specifically for?
For court attendance, wherever you were scheduled for that day.
For a hearing or pretrial or withdrawal?
I don't know. This is just information.
Oh, you don't have to think she's guilty. She admitted to doing it during her interview with the police roughly 5 times, but she claims it wasn't intentional, so she's not. It doesn't matter. She's an idiot and a drunk.
From the jail, where the corrections officer said you refused to attend your hearings.
So
that's the thing I don't get about Americans. If someone unalives themselves by stupidity, we better change the product. No. I have lived 27 years on this planet. I never, ever gotten into a suitcase. I don't need an air hole in a suitcase that I can get water in or something when I go to the station. Just don't crawl into a suitcase. It's the same thing that I can't send what's known as Kinder Egg to the Americas because inside there's a little bubble thing with a toy in it. They are illegal in the US because you could choke on them. That's you are a nation of lawyers, and it's always, well, we better fix the problem by making new laws. No, just stop being stupid. Don't crawl into suitcases. That's way easier. It's the same. I've solved the problem with all of those. Oh, we want to make gun laws. Just make it illegal to kill people. It'll work.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you fix the problem, Jamie.
So is that on record that I have supposedly refused these 3 dates to appear in court?
Jail, yes.
Who is your contact, please? I've never missed a date.
This is the database that I got this information.
Do you know when it was last updated?
I'm not.
Okay, so do you know how I have never missed a court date to the present date? I don't know specifically what these 3 dates are for in order for me to have supposedly denied going. Do you know the name of the officers for each one? You do?
Yes.
Please.
For September 15th, 2023, it is Corrections Officer Portia Hines.
Could you spell her last name, please?
Hines.
And you said the date was 9/15/23?
Correct.
Okay.
This is just pre-trial hearings, so we haven't seen any of them yet. But I don't think he had the closest relationship with his family.
And if you would like, I can read her comments in her report.
Sure.
At approximately midnight, I informed inmate Boone, Sarah, that she was scheduled to appear in court today. Inmate Boone stated she did not want to attend court. I advised her that her absence could result in being held in contempt of court. Inmate Boone stated she understood and continued in her decision to refuse. Corporal L. Cameron was notified. This report is being generated for informational purposes.
But it doesn't say what it was that I supposedly refused.
To attend court. It doesn't say specifically what your hearing is for.
Okay.
It just seems so BS when he says that, because you didn't want to attend court. Have we heard about her not attending court meetings? I think we've seen most of them.
Yeah, and she's on it all the time. She wants to be in court.
Then you change the laws, or is it are the toys inside pre-made, so it's fully made? Because I know for a fact, I looked up what candies I could bring, and Kinder Egg was still illegal. You could bring it to Canada, but you couldn't bring it to America, the European ones at least.
That's weird.
Because I wanted to bring some, because it's such a stupid rule, but I didn't want to get stopped in customs.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing in a deadly toy.
A deadly toy.
Yeah, like Toy La Carissa.
Mm.
Kathy, I tried putting myself in her shoes. I would be so grief-stricken by my actions and loss of life I caused. I wouldn't have the energy for any of this. I would have been quietly serving my sentence. Apparently, allegedly, she got a 10-year plea deal offer. I don't know if it's true. We haven't seen anything concrete. It's just a rumor out there.
If that is true, she is a lunatic.
Yeah.
You should have took that and run, lady.
But again, go back, watch her interrogation. She never, ever, ever admits that she had any part to do in it, because we were just having fun. So, yeah. But I think she's a sociopath.
Second one, it'll be Officer Christy Green.
And what is this date for?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Which date is it that you're referencing?
That's going to be October 16th, 2023.
Okay, I'm sorry, the name?
Green, G-R-E-E-N-E.
And what was the first initial, please?
K.
G-R-E-E-N-E.
Yes.
10/16/23.
Yes.
Okay.
And the third one is January 28th, 2021. And the officer is Jasmine Scribner. S-C-R-I-B-N-E-R.
What are the
Well,
comments?
that's true too. She'd be halfway through her sentence right now too, waiting to go to trial.
Boone, Sarah, that she was on schedule.
Yeah. And again, let's say she got that 1 year in, and with a 10-year sentence, and then you have the 2/3 rule, she'll be out in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, she probably would have been out by now.
We saw what the state of Florida was willing to give a guy in Florida for the treehouse murder.
Mm-hmm.
If he just admitted guilt, he would get time served. But so 10 years doesn't sound too wacky.
No.
Oh, the Kinder Egg doesn't have the toy inside the chocolate. Well, then it's not a Kinder Egg.
Oh.
To attend downtown court. Inmate Boone stated she did not want to attend court. I informed Inmate Boone that if she fails to attend, she could be held in contempt of court. Inmate Boone acknowledged she understood and continued with the decision to refuse to attend court. Corporal Ward at the Booking and Release Center, transport officer, was notified. All proper notations were made in the IMS.
Okay. And January 28th?
Approximately 03:34 hours, Inmate Boone, Sarah, was advised she has downtown court and to start getting ready. Inmate Boone stated she did not want to attend court. I informed Inmate Boone that she could be charged with contempt of court. Inmate Boone still refused to attend court.
They haven't started the trial yet, but he has been put in prison on a $3.1 million bond. I believe it is, or maybe $3.6 million.
Mm.
Because I think they got him on a drug test because he admitted to smoking weed or something like that. Becca Lynn probably would know more about it, because I haven't seen anything anywhere online about it since he got the split decision. To me, yeah, state didn't prove he did it.
Yeah, I agree.
She thinks she's innocent, so she won't take a plea. Yeah. She's a narcissist. She's a sociopath. She'll do whatever she can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kathy, you are very generous today. You're becoming a member too. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Kathy.
Paul and the Booking and Release Center transportation officer were notified of this incident. This report is being generated for informational purposes only.
And all of those comments were made on the day of that I supposedly refused.
I don't know when they entered that.
It doesn't state in their IMS, in their program.
It might, but I didn't take that information out.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how I know all three corporals and the sergeant, so I've never refused court. There's no reason for me to want to refuse court.
I'm going to object this to ask and answer.
I'm going to sustain the objection.
Yeah, then she needs to call them in there to testify against
So the
it.
domestic violence, the original, was dropped. I was never charged with that.
Object as to relevance, Your Honor.
Overruled. You can answer the question, sir.
Okay. It was dropped. You were charged and arrested. I don't know why the state dropped it. It could be because both parties, based on the report that I read, did not want to cooperate. So they probably didn't have information to go forward with the charges. That does not mean that you didn't commit the act. It just meant the state felt that they didn't have a case that they could win.
No, that means that legally she didn't do it. Hey, Castro, been a minute. You can't, if the state didn't press charges, you can't use that to say, well, she's a danger to society, because if the state couldn't prove it, it's not enough that she was charged with a crime. That's BS. Fair should be fair. You can't use a drop case against. That's the same as saying, well, you probably drove too fast on the way to court. You didn't prove that, no, but I believe so.
Yep.
So, if not even no charges, no crime, no conviction, no crime, because again, benefit of the doubt. If the state drops the charges, yeah, he can believe it's because they didn't want to cooperate, but it could also be because she was wrongfully charged. That's BS. Fair is where you take cows and pigs in August. So you sleep in a fair, Lefty, because that's where you take cows and pigs.
What is your definition of probably did not cooperate? Was it a fact or you're just guessing?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the question.
Objection sustained.
Both of the charges were dropped for Mr. Torres and for myself was because we did cooperate and there was not enough information. And we received documentation in the mail, both of us, for the reasons why it was dropped.
Your Honor, I'm going to object this to the form of
Well, I'm pretty sure she'd never been to Cheesehead Country. So maybe it was someone else who just had a funny accent.
question. Not questions. This is
Sustained.
Forgive me because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to provide my information for what it is that I'm being accused of. I don't know if I'm doing it the wrong way, apparently. So I don't know how I don't know the protocol for this. I'm just trying to answer my accusations.
I understand your position. I cannot tell you what to do. I cannot provide you any legal advice.
Okay, I'm just stating to the court that I'm doing my best with being uneducated in this situation. That is for the non-compliance, I need to speak to the corporals and the sergeant in order for that to be remedied. And then what about, do you need the documentation for the domestic charge that I was not charged with and it was dropped cooperatively?
I do know that the charges were dropped. I'm just saying that is in your history.
I understand, but I was never charged with it, correct?
You were charged with it. It was dropped. The charges were dropped.
But it is not on my record.
The rest is on your record.
But the charge for...
That's such BS, because you can get arrested for anything.
Yeah.
If you're not convicted, you didn't do the crime. I I hope I haven't watched what I hope the judge is saying this is BS. She can be in a leg iron. It's
yeah, if you're gonna force her to be her own lawyer, at least just put her shackles on her feet and let her write. Let her have her hands free. Come on.
Mass, because he's using them as an argument that she should be shackled in court because she has a propensity for violence, because she has a drop charged against her for a little strangulation. What strangulation between friends? This is BS.
Or the domestic violence is not on my record.
No, you were never convicted.
Asked and answered, Your Honor.
Overruled.
You were never convicted of domestic battery charge, but you were charged with it.
So she
And-
never
and the case was
committed.
dropped.
Yes.
For the three supposed non-compliance that I have, I know that 2 of the officers are no longer with the Department of Corrections, Orange County Corrections Department. So I will need to speak to their supervisors in order for me to have, I guess, this remedy. Is it
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the form of the question. This is a statement, question.
Objection is sustained.
Can I talk to their supervisors?
I guess I will provide information to you for
That's not a
the
question.
non-compliance occurrences that I'm being charged with.
Your Honor, again, I'm going to object as to, that's not a question, it's a statement.
The objection is sustained.
I know this is a lame question, but what does sustained mean?
That means the state's legal basis for you asking that question is correct, and the court will not permit you to ask
What?
Thank you.
in the way that it may be asked.
What do I need to provide to you?
Asking that question,
What does sustained mean?
the objection is sustained.
What does sustained mean?
I know this is a lame question, but what does sustained mean?
That means the state's legal basis for you asking that question is correct.
Why'd
and the
she
court
call
will
it
not
a
permit you
lame
to ask that
question?
Thank you.
in the way that it may be asked.
What do I need to provide to you in order to have that remedied in order for me to be unhandcuffed?
Your Honor, again,
I
I'm
feel
going to
like
object as to the form of the question.
she should know that, though.
Whatever documentation, but I believe that the decision as to whether or not you'll be in restraints will be made today.
I understand, but it can be made.
What's that?
The decision in order to be unhandcuffed.
Correct. I suppose if you have documentation that this was all fabricated, then I wouldn't be able to use this.
Correct, as you telling me about the domestic violence. That cannot be used against me either.
It is still part of your history. I can bring it up.
Right, but just to clarify and conclude, I was not ever charged with that.
Again, I'm going to object as to ask and answer.
Sustained.
Okay, I will, do I provide this information to you?
You can provide it to the state.
Okay. Am I, in your opinion, a flight risk or detrimental to the courtroom and am a threat of any type of harm?
Based on what I've researched, I don't know you personally, but based on my research, I don't think it would be appropriate for you not to be in restraints.
And then what was the year
Just your
for
feet,
the
though.
charge that was dropped with the domestic violence?
It was 2018.
2018?
Correct.
And it is now 2024. Okay. And you're going solely off of what, the arrest affidavit?
She is not a threat to the courtroom because no Samsonite will be brought in for the jury to get into, just so she can say, hey, let's play a game. So that's what we're talking about, because her being in shackles will potentially be against her Sixth Amendment rights. I sound smart now, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's the one with the fair trial.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't see what they have people that, unalived, quite a few people sitting there on just shackles on their feet all the time.
Ronald III walked around courtroom, no problem.
Oh,
And
yeah, that guy. Oh, Jesus, that guy. Yeah.
Well, he had Jesus as co-counsel, so Jesus could trust him.
He did. But he was psychotic. And he was just walking around willy-nilly.
Son, did I ever hurt you? Yes, Dad. When? When you stabulated me.
Yeah. Multiple times.
Yeah. I did it, but the state forgot to ask why. Good closing argument.
Yep. He was allowed to be unshackled.
Yeah. And he was certified loco.
Yep.
What is it that you're using to conclude due to this occurrence that was dropped that I would not be able to be unrestrained?
Correct. Your arrest history, the information I read, all the research that I've done, that's where I'm basing my conclusion on.
But what specifically from that 2018 charge?
The fact that you were charged with battery by strangulation, which is a violent act, is one of the reasons why I've said that I do not believe it's appropriate for you not to be in restraints.
But it was never proven, correct? Because it was dropped?
It was dropped. Doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Okay.
No, but if it's dropped, it doesn't mean that it did happen. This is a stupid argument. I really, and again, she's a 47-year-old woman looking 60. That linebacker type guy over there will be on her faster than me on a buffet.
I'll be working on the others with the corporals and the sergeant for the supposed non-compliance. Thank you for the dates, the information.
You're welcome.
Ma'am, do you have any other questions?
Do I need to supply anything for the 2018 domestic violence occurrence that you are referencing and applying?
It's already been dropped. I'm just telling you what the history is. So,
And you can still apply it even though it's not been.
right, it's in your history.
Okay. Thank you for the information.
You're welcome.
Any follow-ups, Dave?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Anything else, Dave?
Not from the state.
Okay. I see Deputy Barnett here. Could you come up, sir?
Yeah, I think this was
Please
BS.
swear or affirm that when you give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Sir, good afternoon, or good morning, rather. Can you state your full name and date of birth for the record for me?
My name is Chad Barnett.
And not your date of birth. Sorry, could you spell your
Again, I can live with Daryl Boone, Daryl Brooks. Yeah, he's going to take her last name. Who was in leg irons as long as there's a cloth of something that makes sure that you can't see she's shackled, because the Sixth Amendment gives her the right to a fair trial, and being in cuffs would. But that, I think that was kind of what he said he wanted, that he would take off the belt and the handcuffs. But again, don't they have a buzzer? Just give her a buzzer.
Mm-hmm.
C-H-A-D-B-A-R-N-E-T-T.
and what are your duties and responsibilities here at the Orange County Courthouse?
I'm Deputy Sheriff at the Orange County Courthouse. I work in courtrooms, I supervise squads, and I'm also in charge of training inside the courthouse.
Okay. Is there any training that's addressed with regard to other security measures other than shackles that may be provided for defendants?
Yes, we have an item called a stun cuff that is also used in the courtroom.
Okay, could you step us through what a stun cuff is?
A stun cuff is an electronic device that's wireless. It's box secured to the leg. It has 50,000 volts, and it's able to be remotely sparked from a distance.
Yeah,
How
give
is
me
it
that.
fixed or placed on a person?
Yeah.
And,
It's dual strap.
and I'm going to
so you
super
have,
chat.
Either way, it can be hidden. Yes.
I saw this part on most channel. Jamie, we will petition Florida that you can super chat an amount, kind of like what some ladies earn money on on online with too. So if you send like a $2 super chat, she'll just get a little tickle, and if you send $100 super chat, they'll send so much power through her that they'll just knock her off her feet. That could pay for this entire trial, Jamie.
Yeah.
I think Running Man was a good idea. Maybe a little too far, but let's start with making it possible that we can super chat and get to hit the buzzer. Kind of like when we see these TV shows where they make dinner with the shock collar on. Could you imagine her closing statement and me tossing a hundo after her and just seeing her leg go out under her?
Yep.
But I would also have one on the prosecutor. So whenever he makes some stupid statement, I can send a hundo and knock him off too.
Yeah, it needs to be equal.
I think because then I would sell everything I own and send hundos after Lally the next time he's in court.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
See you, Q.
Thank you.
And gives the ability to people to walk around.
And who is in charge of operating that device?
It'll be an assigned officer that's been trained in the device.
And step us through the operation of how that device is utilized or operated by that officer.
The officer will show the device to the subject or the inmate or the defendant. It will be secured with 2 straps on the leg. There's a waiver he signed prior to being used, explaining when it would be used, if it was needed to be used during court, violence, attempt to escape, any actions that lead to that level of to use the device. It's a 2-step process, so there is no way for an accident to be set off. It has to be hit 2 separate buttons, so there's no accidents. If it had to be used, it would cause a shock to the location on the calf, causing great amount of pain, causing the defendant most likely to fall to the ground, and we can secure and take care of the situation.
Are there any other protocols or standard operating procedures regarding the use of the stun belt, other than what you've already identified?
Just to follow another use, response to resistance policy.
Okay, and can you explain the response to resistance policy?
We have a level of response to resistance depending on what an individual does to what we would do. So if she was attempt to escape or fight, we would use it to match that level of resistance.
What is the level of resistance whereby which the stun belt would be deployed or utilized?
At this moment, it's at a level 3.
And what is a level 3?
Level 3 would be failing to follow directions and stuff like that. If we asked her to get up and move or not, or follow the off order, we could use it. Most likely in the courtroom, we would use it probably at about 4 level. That is pretty much fighting, escaping, attacking another person.
Okay, all right. State, do you have any questions to Deputy Barnett?
No, sure.
Ma'am, do you have any questions for Deputy Barnett?
I do, please.
Go ahead.
Tell me, what is the title of this?
Stun
Cuff.
cuff.
And you said this was applied on the calf or the ankle?
Yeah, the Achilles tendon area.
And is this something that does it need extensive preparation, or is it something that can just be put on coming and going from the courtroom?
We would place it on you before the court starts. We would take it on fast court every time we exit the courtroom. It takes a few moments to sign the waiver and secure it to the waiver.
And it's a one-time waiver?
Each day you'll have to re-sign the waiver.
Okay, so there's no limit to how many times it can be put on and taken off, put on, taken off?
No.
And it's a very simple process to apply?
Yes.
And remove?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any follow-up?
Nothing to say. Why?
Sorry. Would I have my hands free, correct?
Yes, you would have your hands free either way. If you were in a leg iron, your hands would be completely free. The stun cuff, same thing.
And then I would be able to walk?
You will be able to walk with the stun cuff freely, yes.
So hands free and able to walk?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other follow-up? State.
Yeah, give her that one.
Can Mr. Barnett or
Yeah.
Sergeant Barnett be released?
Yes.
Ma'am, can he be released?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir. State any argument, any further witnesses, evidence, or testimony with regard to the defendant's shackle motion.
No, sir.
Ma'am, do you have any other things that you would like to tell the court with regard to your motion?
I don't understand what Sergeant Burnett was that you all providing me an option?
There is Florida Supreme Court case law addressing reasonable measures for movement by a defendant in the courtroom.
So that is an option?
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to supply the information in regards to the supposed 3 non-compliance before that can actually be made an actual option?
I cannot.
I think, haven't I told you about that night trip I went on, or that tour I went on at night in Rome, where we went in? It was like the back alley to a back alley, and there was it was a church. There was maybe like 5 pews on each side, and the dome was a replica of St. Peter's Basilica. It was, and again, it was such a small. the size of the room I'm in, but it was so beautiful. It was so special to go there at night. So yeah, all those touristy places, go somewhere else. You'll see way more. If you ever go on trips, find one of those local walking tours, free walking tours, where they recommend you paying $20. They will show you places where not every tourist goes.
Answer that question, because that would be me providing you legal advice as to what you could, can, or should do, and I cannot do that.
Would I be able to be unrestrained with that information?
I think that would come down to the argument of yourself and from the state as to what the local court has to consider with regard to your requests and your motion and what the law is in the state of Florida.
If I may make it clear also, I'm simply just asking to be unhandcuffed so I can write and move properly. I'm not trying to maneuver the courtroom and so on and so forth. I simply just am asking to sit here being unhandcuffed so I can write without taking skin off of my wrist and being extremely uncomfortable.
Okay. Ma'am, thank you for that clarification, because when I read your motion, you asked to be unshackled, to have freedom of movement. And I interpreted that as you wanted to move as everybody else may be able to move in this courtroom, as Mr. Cashstory has moved around, how other persons have moved around. And it wasn't only limited to your hands. I thought it meant to your entire person based on what it is that you were seeking in your motion. So just for the purposes of my own clarification, is your motion only seeking to have your hands not bound so that you can move your hands, but otherwise shackles that may be on your legs would continue to stay there?
Right. I don't currently have shackles, but I don't know what is in regards to trial procedure. And in regards for you not having the clarification of me just wanting to be unhandcuffed, is it my responsibility, or I don't know if you can answer this, but you don't ask questions, which is what got me in this predicament from the get-go of having no counsel, because no questions were ever asked to me. Just for the majority of my motions and letters and so on that I have supplied the court for more information to try to intervene and help, it's just gotten me into hotter water and no counsel and still restrained. So,
Honey Boo Boo, it's not his job to ask questions of you. It's your job to cooperate with your lawyers, not just walk out of rooms when they don't want to do what you say. She's such an idiot.
Yeah.
Bio break.
So is it something that I need to specifically clarify going forward, or is it something that you have the ability to ask me questions so you have a better understanding?
Generally, I don't know that I can answer that question because it may call for me providing you legal advice. If I'm asking questions, it's because I'm trying to clarify things from my understanding. I cannot ask questions on your behalf. I cannot ask questions for you. I cannot assist you in any process, be it this hearing or at trial.
Right. Yes, I understand. I wasn't asking for assistance. I was just trying to understand by you not asking questions in regards to my motion about being unhandcuffed and unshackled simply meant just my handcuffs.
Ma'am, I review your motion to be unshackled, unhandcuffed, and allowed reasonable freedom to movement and functioning accordingly, equally, and comfortably while utilizing the courtroom. All normal movement of the defendant's hands is as a whole freely, properly, successfully accomplish any task that is needed. Asking to be unshackled and unhandcuffed, the defendant is simply requesting equal, comfortable, functional movement to achieve advancement in her forfeited right to counsel by the court, which will greatly enhance the productivity and progress for the defendant and the completion of her defense in her criminal case in preparation for trial. Your wherefore clause specifically asks to be unshackled, unhandcuffed, and allowed reasonably freedom in movement to function equally, accordingly, and comfortably in the courtroom. I took that as you wanted to move around. You did not want to be shackled, which would be your legs as well, and you did not want to have handcuffs. If you're telling me now that all you're asking is your hands to be free, that's respectfully not what your motion says over and over and over again, as I've just read. So if you would like to clarify for me now at this time, you can, as to what it is that you're asking of.
Yes, handcuffed. I would like to have these handcuffs removed from my wrists.
Okay.
In regards to the unshackled, I know at some point I would have to maneuver, I'm guessing, in the courtroom for trial. So I didn't want to have to wait last moment to have to do another motion to be unshackled if that's what my option is, because I don't know. So I was just trying to be transparent prior so you would know what it was that I was hopefully expecting. But first,
go ahead.
It's just handcuffs means unhandcuffed. And if for trial I have to be shackled, to be unshackled.
Okay, and when you say unshackled, what do you mean by that? Just so that we're all in the same field.
Shackled, as far as my understanding is from being shackled, means that I have this along with my waist, along with my ankles. So unhandcuffed is simply for the hands and the wrists, and then unshackled would be for my ankles and for the feet.
And is that what you were seeking for trial purposes?
I didn't know if I was going to be shackled or not. So again, that was why I was trying to be transparent and up forward by doing so now to make the court aware that that would be a request of mine at the time.
Okay, all right. So you would be seeking to be unshackled, no leg restraints, no arm restraints at trial, right?
Please.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you also be asking of the court to move around the courtroom when trial would take place?
I'm not sure if this is considered legal advice, but I don't know. I know from seeing other trials, the state and the defense, they maneuver the courtroom in front of the jury, so on and so forth, and they hand things back and forth. I would have to have other movement other than me sitting here. So yes, I would have very limited, reasonable movement in the courtroom for trial,
Okay.
Yes.
Is there anything else, ma'am, that you would like to tell me with regard to what you're seeking in your motion to be hands-free, for lack of a better word, during any hearings that we may have, and then to be hands-free, unshackled with your legs, and to have movement in the courtroom during the course of the trial? Is there anything else that you'd like to tell me about those requests?
I don't know if you've been able to see my difficulty with just simply trying to take notes. Yes, very much. I would like to be unhandcuffed, just to sit here and be in attendance of my hearings, conferences, whatever it is. For the trial, when the time comes for any limited movement that I would have, the stun cuff, I would sign the waiver now, just whatever it is that I can do in order to enable myself to be able to have the same comfortable atmosphere and movement and equal opportunities just as everyone else.
Thank you. Anything else you'd like to tell me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. State any argument.
Your Honor, you've heard the Sheriff's Office's position. They're in charge of courtroom security. They presented basically their position that she should not be unshackled, but you've also heard from Deputy Barnett who explained the options that are available to the court. Our position is if you do not allow her freedom of movement with the stun cuff, then today is probably the best day to start talking about the logistics of how we're going to do this trial so it does not create the inference that she is an inmate. Does that mean the state will be sitting at a counsel table to question witnesses? How are we going to go about getting back and forth to the clerk and to the witness to present exhibits if she is not going to be able to do the same with shackles? So we just want to bring everything to the court's attention so we can get it all settled today.
I agree, which was the purpose of why we wanted to set it for today, to address all those circumstances and again, think ahead. Ma'am, do you have any closing remarks or arguments that you'd like to make to the court about your desires to be unhandcuffed, unshackled, and or utilize the stun cuff?
I believe that it is unfair that you, number one, want me to represent myself, and then number two, you would like for me to represent myself while being
We're back in the circle.
handcuffed to be able to progressively and actively participate properly in the same as others with just simply being able to write notes. At some point, I'm sure I will be bringing things with me to court that I need to reach for, to open, to pass normal functions in a body as a whole with the same equal level as anyone in the courtroom would have in order for myself to be able to do the same and function fairly and appropriately. I don't know if this is legal advice or not, but in a trial, are you able to tell me are defendants shackled, or is this something that I don't even need to worry about because they're not even shackled?
Typically, ma'am, the defendants have leg shackles that, as Deputy Lowen identified, they're wrapped so that they're muffled, so that they don't jingle jangle or bring any noise attention. The privacy panels located in front of defense counsel's table would prohibit the jury from seeing those. Their hands are free, but the legs are in restraints.
Thank you. Yes, I very much would like to be unhandcuffed, just to simply take notes and function normally and equally, just for hearings and so on and so forth, which we have a lot scheduled futuristically. And then when trial comes about.
That's not a word.
Futuristically.
It's not a word, Jamie.
Look it up. It's in the dictionary. She would know. She wrote the dictionary, Baker.
I am looking it up now. Futuristically. Cambridge. Yeah, shut up. In a way that is strange and very modern, or seeming to come from imagined time in the future. How do you use futuristically in a sentence? This stylish hotel is futuristically designed in steel and glass.
I mean, I hate it. I'll just say that. I don't like that word.
Collins Dictionary. I don't know Collins, but I bet he's smart. Futuristically in American English. 1. Of or having to do with the future, futurism, and futurology. That sounds like it's made up too. So advanced in design, form, concept, etc., as to seem suited for some future time. Ultra modern.
Future.
It's futuristic if it's pertaining to the future.
Yeah.
Oh.
Either way, with trial and or hearings, the stun cuff, I am readily awaiting for that to be an option.
How much time would Letitia Stark have been sentenced to in Finland? Are you asking how much time Letitia Stark would have been sentenced to in Denmark?
Probably. 16
did
months.
She have any? Did she have? No, she didn't have any mental problems because.
No.
I think actually she would have had in Denmark. You get if you're not. I think it's paragraph 16. That's if you're too insane to get a sentence. But I think that we get a recommendation from a board of psychologists, and they would recommend a punishment for her. And not knowing and not being and never having interviewed her, I think she would have, with the stories she told, I think she would have gotten one of those kind of like a detainment sentence where you are sent to a prison for people who don't get a year put on, but where the psychologist will have to evaluate you now and again. I think the first time is every 5 years, and after that it's every 2 years you'll get an evaluation, because she seemed like she was a strange cookie. So in Denmark, I don't even think she would have gotten as unaliving your kid. She would have gotten 12 years if she just did that. But with her mental state, I think she would have gotten a detainment probably for the rest of her life. That's not nice. That's like saying, well, the Czech Republic and Serbia, that's the same.
And to apply as soon as possible, whatever it is and however it is that I need to.
Yeah, like a time indeterminate where it relies on the shrinks to evaluate you now and again, because it's when they don't believe they have any means of rehabilitate you or to make you safe for society, but you're still not insane enough that you should be locked up for life in an insane asylum. So you'll just get one of those and sit there for the rest of your life.
Just to at least just have these removed.
Okay, got it. Any closing remarks, Mr. J?
No, I just address all the concerns, which is the court's line.
Got it. All right, thank you very much. I think the Florida Supreme Court has given us the guidance specifically for a case just like this in Weaver versus State, 894 Southern 2nd, 178 by the Florida Supreme Court in 2004. In that case, there was a pro se defendant who was representing themselves who had been charged with first-degree murder, and there was no prior history of violent courtroom outcome.
I missed this one. Jamie, why are you wearing a sweatshirt when it's 72? My AC is set on 66. That's way too hot, and you should go out and see your driveway.
It is 72 is nice. And plus it's like 15-mile-an-hour winds. Oh, it's like the best day.
Sorry, Zach, I missed this one.
Firsts,
but I don't
the defendant in that case was representing themselves, and there was some concerns as to being allowed to move around the courtroom during trial may present some safety hazards. The court identified as there would be, in our case, potential sidebars, access to witnesses, evidence, jurors, etc. And that in that case, Weaver's pro se status meant that he would be moving about the courtroom in close proximity to the judge, jurors, prosecutors, witnesses, and potential firearm evidence. This closer proximity to various trial participants arguably raises greater safety concerns than a defendant who is represented by counsel and has no legitimate reason to wander beyond the defense table. Given those circumstances in which a defendant is charged with first-degree murder.
But you have to remember too, Mary, we have a very different view on punishment in Denmark because we believe we can save people by giving them a college degree. And our recidivism percentage is kind of the same as yours, because they've done studies of this. Even if you give them the easiest of sentences and the hardest of sentences, you'll actually, on average, have, I believe it's 85%, between 83 to 87% recidivism in former convicted people, no matter how hard you punish them. So it's almost like punishment, or no matter how it is, doesn't work if people choose to be criminals.
Was representing himself and moving about the courtroom in close proximity to trial exhibits, especially adverse witnesses. The trial court did not abuse its discretion, even though Weaver had no prior history of violent courtroom behavior. In the Weaver case, the Florida Supreme Court found that the trial court's utilization of the stun belt was not so prejudicial when measured against the other alternative forms of restraint, and whether those alternatives are less prejudicial or viable. There was virtually no alternative to a stun gun, given the visibility of other restraints and the security concerns posed by Weaver's pro se status in that case. It is clear as a matter of Florida law that a criminal defendant's right to be free of physical restraints is not absolute, and that under the circumstances in the Weaver case, the decision to employ a stun belt constitutes a rational exercise of the trial court's discretion that was reasonably necessary to ensure order and safety in the courtroom, especially in light of the defendant's pro se status. In that case, we had a firearm. It was first-degree murder. Here we have second-degree murder. The incidents identified by Officer Lotan as to non-compliance in jail for purportedly refusing to return to show up at court, and the charge itself. The charge itself has some level of concern because it is a second-degree murder, but I don't see how where we are right now is not on all fours with Weaver, especially coupled with Ms. Boone's acquiescence to utilizing the stun cuff and saying she'd sign the waiver today. She doesn't have to. You'll have to sign the waiver when we get to trial. So unless I hear anything alternatively from the state, the courts would grant the motion that she would be unhandcuffed for any hearing we have moving forward. Instead of her position in the box, we would probably have her seated at counsel's table, unless I hear an objection from the state as to that. We'll address motions first. State, any position with regard to being unshackled and B, being seated at counsel's table for any motions moving forward?
No, we defer to the court and the sheriff's office, who's in charge of security. Our concerns are just making sure that she's given a fair trial and fashioning a remedy that is a fair presentation for the jury to observe.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so now the court's going to grant your motion, and then you will be unhandcuffed for every hearing moving forward. And instead of being in the jury box, you'll be seated at counsel's table. Okay, you may still have your leg restraints on, but you'll be hands-free. For the purposes of trial, in accordance with Florida Supreme Court decision in Weaver, you will be hands-free and you will not be shackled with legs. But the stun cuff, as identified by Sergeant Barnett, will be affixed to you, and you'll have to sign that waiver. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
For sitting here in the counsel's table, you also said that I would be shackled. I'm not.
She didn't really. Maybe she. We've been going in a circle for a long time. I don't know. She knows what she thinks she knows, and wants.
Not shackled now. Will I be shackled then?
My understanding is that you were. If you're not, the only thing you have is your handcuffs.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. If that's the case, then you'll be seated at counsel's table with that, as you are without your hand restraints.
Okay, so I would be unbound.
Correct.
Yes, thank you.
All right. The other item I have on, yes, sir.
I think the sheriff's office is looking for clarification, and I think I am too.
Okay.
I think the situation is because she has handcuffs on now, she doesn't have leg restraints, but for hearings, when her hands are unrestrained, her legs would be restrained.
Okay, I'm getting a thumbs up from the
Yes, and I infrequently updated. I just put up pictures today of the Viking ships I have been looking at with Mads and David, and I think it's called Broken Baker YT on Instagrams. I'm not on Snapchat yet. That's probably why I haven't gotten any offers in my DMs.
Deputy in the back, if that's the case. Is that the standard operating procedure? Deputy Logan? Okay, so ma'am, so I'll clarify my order. For the purposes of any hearings, you'll
My daughter looked at me and said, "Oh, I just got Snapchat." She said, "You're too old for that."
be hands-free, but you will have leg restraints. That's not going to affect any fairness or impartiality because it's just you and me and the state, and no jurors will see that. Yes,
also, Judge, when she's being transported from the jail, she is going to be fully handcuffed with belly chains and all that. You can take those off
in advance.
Gets up here.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just worried about the fairness here in the courtroom, especially when we bring in a jury panel. Okay. And for the purposes of trial, ma'am, you'll have no leg restraints, no hand restraints, your hands free, legs free, but you will have the stun cuff affixed to your leg. As identified by Sergeant Barnett, you're going to have to sign that waiver every day.
Luna, until I tell you I have an OnlyFans, don't laugh at me. I am trying to promote my channel.
Okay.
Of course, and if I may, if anyone knows, the stun cuff, does it go over clothing or does it have to?
It is under your clothing, as Sergeant Barnett identified. I have a representative from the Public Defender's Office who I've asked to be here. She's going to have a conversation with you, ma'am, after our hearing, so she can facilitate clothing for you, including pants that would prohibit the jury from viewing that device on your legs.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Does that clarify for you, Sadie?
Yes, I just saw them and I thought that I saw the confusion based on my experience and how it's done.
Okay.
We cleared it up.
Thank you. Now, ma'am, that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to wander wherever you want in the courtroom. There's going to be spots where you're going to be able to go to. You're not going to be able to walk all the way up to witnesses. You're not going to be able to walk everywhere that you want. There's going to be places that you're going to have to go to. When we get closer to trial, we'll address the box, for lack of a better word, for where you'd be able to go and not go. And I'm going to give the same limitations to the state. Okay?
I understand.
All right. Are you okay with addressing that later, Counselor?
Yeah, I mean, what I would envision is if she needs an exhibit brought to witness, I have no problem getting up and doing that for her.
I was going to, either you could do it or I was going to have the deputies do it. So, ma'am, I envision that because you're going to be able to move about freely and our jurors are not going to know that you have any restraints on you and they're not going to be able to see the stun cuff, you can conduct any questions or statements or arguments from where you would like to be in the courtroom, either at counsel's table or at the podium here for you. If you need to approach a witness or you need to provide evidence to someone, I'm going to ask you and the state to both provide that information or that document to one of the deputies, and they'll be able to approach the witness for you. Okay.
I don't get that Snapchatty thing because people are always sending selfies. I know how you look. I don't care. Just write my message. And then when they're out drunk and sending me videos of them singing bad karaoke, that's why I think I have 5 people who knows my Snapchat.
Most of the stuff disappears too, so that's like why people like.
Yeah, but it's so annoying that at 3 in the morning, you should have been here. Yeah, I'm not. I'm sleeping. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm not. There's a reason for that.
Yeah. You do like this judge decision, just and fair. Exactly, Scott McGinnis. I think he's splitting the baby 50-50.
Thank you.
All right. Do you have any questions about the court's ruling or the procedures for you having movement throughout the courtroom during the course of our trial?
No, I understand. And you said that it would be clarified greater once we get closer to that date. But I would like to ask, please, when the time does come for any exhibits or anything to be handed to. Well,
let's just say I might have known someone where it was a good thing for her things disappeared at home. That's why I got Snapchat.
Jurors, yourself, or anyone in the courtroom. Is it an option for the state or a deputy, or is it specifically whoever's the closest and can do it faster?
So what I'm going to do, ma'am, is I've spoken with the sheriff's office. I'm going to endeavor to have additional security in the office or in the courtroom so that there will be a deputy for basically your disposal, basically closer to you. So that if you have a document you want to bring to a witness's attention or ask them questions about it, you can hand it to that dedicated deputy for you, ma'am.
Yes, that is my preference, please. Thank you.
That's what I'm endeavoring to try to do for you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions about the ruling?
No, sir.
Okay, so your motion is granted for the reasons stated on the record. State anything to clarify?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. The last issue that I had on my list this morning was the scheduling order and notice of hearings that the court entered on August 5 required the jail to provide the every Monday at 9 a.m. commencing August 12, 2024. A representative from the Orange County Jail sent email to my judicial assistant, email provided in the order, all notebook entries from IMS from the prior week, Monday through Sunday, for every issuance of the laptop and USB device is issued to the defendant. I'm simply changing that to close of business from 9 a.m. to close of business at 5 p.m. And that order will be hand delivered to Ms. Boone and e-filed to the state today. Okay. Is there anything else, state, that we need to address?
And I just got a Snapchat.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ma'am, is there anything else that you'd like to bring to my attention?
From Rexy?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
In regards to
No,
the
from
status report you were just speaking about regarding.
Again, talk about stupid stuff. It's my gym buddy who sends me that her dog has killed another chew toy.
Oh,
yeah.
They're chat worthy.
Jesus Christus.
Then providing me with a laptop each day. What is your definition of entries?
The protocol, ma'am, that was read to you, that you were given a hard copy of Monday, and was also mailed to you on, I believe, the 30th, at the appropriate PO box for legal mail. The protocol identifies entries that are in the information management system at the jail for when that laptop is released to you and then returned.
Okay, so it's simply just an entry by the
Fed Tillis should start Tuesday, and then go for the next 2 weeks, and then the Corey Richards should pick up. Well, hearings in the Corey Richards case would be from the 29th, I believe, to 26th to the 29th. And then I don't have anything until when I get back from Rome, where there should be that teenager who aerated her mom's head. So we'll find something. Jamie won't let me take that much time off.
officer stating that they gave it to me and it was returned.
I'm making that assumption. I'm just relying on what is in the protocol.
Okay, my concern was they're not stating what it was that I looked at for how long and
I don't know that they're going to record that information on the protocol, ma'am. It's just simply what is checked out and returned under the protocol.
Yes, thank you for that clarification. And then also for the notice of the expected evidence and witnesses at the trial, we didn't discuss the physical evidence, and I know that that was something pending in regards to the media being.
The physical evidence, we're set to review that here in court on September 3rd at 9 o'clock in the morning, and that was identified in the order from the 5th, ma'am, which you said that you got a copy of through the mail. That's in paragraph 5. The state's physical evidence will be reviewed with the state and the defendant on September 3, 2024 at 9 a.m. in courtroom 12A in Orange County Courthouse, and the address of the courthouse. So the physical evidence will be reviewed at that point in time.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand. My question though was, are you still trying to decide or research having the media?
Yes, ma'am. I pulled the case law on it. I need to review that case law to see if an evidentiary hearing is required. I know that we have a hearing that we had set for August 14th, which was to address a couple of other issues, specifically your motion to receive the hard copy documents. We no longer need that hearing on August 14th.
She is way too annoying for me, and I like her husband, so I would never.
At 1:30, because the jail has confirmed that they have space. In this
and she's really tiny, and I need some cushion for the, if you know what I mean.
Mr. Lane's taking care of that today. But I do want to utilize that hearing for, I still want to utilize that hearing since we've carved it out. So at that hearing, we can address the media issue based on the court's review of the case law and determine if we have to have an evidentiary hearing, we can have an evidentiary hearing at that time. And also we can utilize that as a status as to your review, ma'am, of the digital evidence and to confirm that you've had the opportunity to review it. You don't have to finalize it, but just to see where you are in reviewing that digital evidence that the state may be seeking to introduce at trial.
This is for the 14th?
That's correct, ma'am.
And what is the time, please?
1:30 in the afternoon.
Okay, and for the case law that you are researching and referencing, are we able to have a copy of it prior?
Sure. I don't see any problems. It's a manual decision. I don't know the citation off the top of my head.
But you won't understand it.
I have no problem. I'm familiar with the case.
Sure. Ma'am, what I'll do is I'm going to prepare another order. I'll be able to hand deliver you the one.
Sorry.
Today, changing the Orange County Jail, providing the notebook entries from 9 a.m. to close of business. I can hand deliver that to you today. But in the order that I mail to you, ma'am, it'll provide the case law with regard to the your privacy and media concerns.
Yes,
and that will be heard on August 14th at 1:30, in addition to a status on the digital. Now, ma'am, based on the scheduling order that the court entered back on August 5, you have 14 days from today, absent of showing a good cause, to extend any deadlines to provide your objections in writing to that evidence.
Forgive me, it's objections for the evidence from the state?
The digital evidence only.
Of the 2 USB drives from Mr. Lane?
No, ma'am. The USB drive that Mr. Lane's going to be providing to the jail today that has those 9 items identified in this notice of expected evidence that you were provided today.
14.
Of course, watch out for Discord. Just not my Discord. Please join my Discord server so you get notified when we go live. And tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, you can watch Summer Camp, Summer School. And after that, a video demanded by Irish. We have movie nights almost every Sunday night. I might jump in there for a bit and see what you're watching. Jamie is always there, and we watch great movies like The Barbarians, Blood In, Blood Out, and then a lot of crap. Next Sunday it might be Trolls Back to the Hood.
Oh my God! Stop
No,
it.
Leprechauns Back to the Hood. Jamie's favorite movie.
It's not. I want to watch it though with Iris.
Yeah.
15 days and I have to write objections?
That is correct. So your objections to the digital discovery will be due no later than August 23rd.
Giggity, giggity,
And I will put this
giggity.
all in order for you as well.
Thank you.
I believe that addresses all of the court's matters that were teed up for today. State, do you have anything else?
No, no.
Ma'am, is there anything else?
I do have this. I made a copy of it for you. This letter that I supplied to Captain Di Giovanni upon her return, knowing what I am requesting. I don't know if I'm able to tell you, but it is a basic laptop. I have no internet and I have no phone. I'm trying to utilize the classroom that is in our dorm. I'm trying to have access to a phone. The USB drives, how they're being handled, I feel very uncomfortable with, as I referenced to you prior. They're being taken out of the bags, and then paperwork is being removed from those bags, like the protocol security paperwork that I needed to reference, and then they're resealing the bags. The other day, one of the officers took the USB drives upon herself to remove from the bags herself, and then just handed me both the USB drives. I don't know where they go. I don't know who controls them. Being removed from those bags.
That's not English she's saying there.
USB drives, how they're being handled, I feel very uncomfortable with, as I referenced to you prior. They're being taken out of the bags, and then paperwork is being removed from those bags, like the protocol security paperwork that I needed to reference, and then they're resealing the bags. The other day, one of the officers took the USB drives upon herself to remove from the bags herself.
So she put the USB drives on herself. This is like reading her letters where she forgets that to use punctuations. She took her USB drives upon herself to remove
the bags herself.
And then just handed me both the USB drives. I don't know where they go. I don't know who controls them. I don't know how they're stored.
Only lefties.
And one of my requests was to keep it at my bunk in my locked drawer, along with, of course, the internet, if I could be supplied earphones and headphones for listening, and a word document.
Earphones and headphones.
Oh my God, stop it.
I don't understand what she's asking. I'm sorry to say.
Me neither.
It sense makes none of it. Candy Temple became a YouTube member. Thank you so much, Candy. You took it upon yourself to take out a membership, whereas I could maybe, if I had an earphone or a headphone. Your Honor, I don't feel comfortable.
She's ridiculous.
This all makes better sense. I don't want to make sense. I want to entertain. Don't you know I'm a grifter, Jesse? Jesse is the new name. I like Jesse.
There you go. That's
yeah, she wants earphones and headphones. I think she's just, yeah.
Program, just simply to be able to type motions and letters and anything that needs to be documented or recorded. It is simply a basic laptop in order for me to view my USB drives, and just, as I stated earlier to you, some of the parts of the USB drives cannot be viewed, which I will discuss with Mr. Lane tomorrow when I visit with him.
Ma'am, you could give your letter to the deputy. We will file that in the court file. Part of the reason we had set the August 14th hearing on your motion for the hard copy discovery was that Captain Di Giovanni was returning on August the 12th from a vacation, and we were endeavoring.
Because Jamie and I will sometimes break it off and say weird stuff. That's why people watch this.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. She would be calling the judge's office all day long saying, pertaining to the motion that I raised earlier, as Your Honor know, I feel uncomfortable with in futuristically taking out upon oneself the bags of USB sticks that I cannot open. That I could be having a meeting every day.
What? Yep.
Yes.
To have a representative from jail or herself be here for that hearing. So in addition to a status as to your review of the digital evidence, a hearing on media request or prevent media from being at the September 3rd discovery viewing hearing.
Kellyman, thank you so much. And doing Boone again.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Yeah, she just want to go see who talks about her on the interwebs. That's all she wants the internet for. She doesn't care about motions or research. She just wants to see. And have we ever gotten
easier with her fan club? You know, is it the people over in Korea?
I just want to know: have we gotten confirmation from Legal Vices he is not the head of a South Korean fan club?
That's true. I'm not sure.
He I think he was on Megan Fox the other day talking about it, and I didn't feel we got a clear yes or no.
They're giving her, telling her what the law should be.
Your concerns as identified in this letter.
Yeah.
And have a representative from the jail, be it Captain DiGiovanni or someone else, here to address those concerns.
Thank you. And if I may say one last thing, please, in regards to the media being a part of my discovery hearing, I am highly opposed to it.
Yeah, but you have sunshine law in Florida, so
that is. I know that I have a lot of my case details that are already online. For me to be recorded, inspecting and testing and photographing, I believe that is my business only, and one bit of privacy that I should be able to maintain, especially being in the courtroom doing.
Nope. Look up sunshine laws in Florida. We can see whatever they want to provide in court. So F yourself. Don't do the crime. Don't do the time.
So
you're talking about the September 3rd evidence hearing, right?
For the media?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. Again, ma'am, we're going to have that hearing on the 14th.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, ma'am?
No.
I'm not Dutch. I'm not Swedish. I'm Danish. Well, I would stay with Jody.
Oh, that was funny.
No, it's not.
Okay, I will see you all on August 14th at 1:30.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Ma'am, as the attorney from the Justice Administration Commission had identified, he has provided the court via email the pro se packet. I have a hard copy for you, and I'm going to have Ms. Barrios also send you a copy by way of the mail. It was already mailed. Okay, we're going to mail you a copy as well, ma'am. Today, I'm going to give this to the deputy and provide to you. This is the pro se packet that the JAC attorney made reference to on our hearing on August 5.
Yes, thank you. And then also the public defender's office, you said would be meeting you downstairs?
They're going to be meeting you momentarily. Be that right here or downstairs, I'm not sure. But they will be meeting you to discuss that. Okay, thank you, Ms. Click. All right, any other questions, Dave?
No, Your Honor.
Any other questions, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you on August 14th at 1:30. We'll return Ms. Boone to the Orange County Jail.
Thank you.
What is a day before
It's very manly.
Oh, it's very manly. That's all he's got.
Yeah.
That's what.
No, we don't
is that what you
one...
get? You go in and tell him, "Give me the Dane boy."
No, I go in and say 6 millimeters in the side and just a bit off the top.
6 millimeters.
Yeah, that's
talk in real terms.
I did.
Oh, good times.
That is 0.23622 inches.
That sounds huge.
Jamie, it's Where's my tape
What
measure? Oh,
what is it in man tape measure?
it's this much.
You gotta lie a little bit. It's this big.
Well, in Denmark, we don't have to lie because we are an inch bigger on average.
Okay.
High and tight. Yeah, that's how I like it. I haven't had hair past my ears since I was deployed. I hate it.
Did you have like a bowl cut?
I have had high and tight hair. Well, I've shaven all my hair off for a while because when I was deployed, we had so much chlorine in the water that it ruined my hair. So I shaved it all off, and then it got darker when it grew back in. But luckily, I'm getting gray now, so I'm going back to my blonde roots.
Do you dye your hair? Are you going to dye your hair ever?
Why should I? I have dyed my hair red, but because I'm I'm naturally blonde, so it got pink. Hey, Brandy, how you hanging?
Hi, Brandy.
Mr. Meathook, you are a little bit behind if we are talking about Rome. That's an hour ago. But yeah, I'm going to Rome in 2 weeks. An inch is 4/4 inches. Good to know. Someone said, Twobble lives 4 miles from Solvang. That's the way to say it. In California. It's a Danish village. You would be right at home. We actually see that on TV sometimes because whenever they are, there's election going on, they drive to Solvang and ask, oh, you are Danish. What would you vote? And it's in California. Big surprise. But I know a guy who used to be a baker in Solvang, and it's kind of like the amusement park version of Denmark. There is actually, I believe, right on the border between Illinois and Iowa, on the Iowa side, there's another Danish town where we had some guys who make cooking shows go over there and film. It's sadly I can't show it because they have all these Danish traditions, but they put them in the wrong order. So like apple fritters, those round balls, we call them apple slices, but it's kind of the same thing, I think. They eat that with medisterpils, which is a sausage that we normally eat at Christmas, we eat it but it's a Christmas tradition, and so is apple fritters. But they eat them together, which we would find very weird because we don't eat sweet stuff with our meat. We'll have our meat, our sauce, and our potatoes, and then you'll have a dessert. But you wouldn't have apple fritters as a dessert. That's more like a you go to something school thing with your kids, and you'll have to eat these frozen apple fritters that is burned on the outside and cold in the middle, and pay $45 for it so they can go on a vacation. But it's so funny to see that we are Danes believe of how Danish culture is. But I would like to go to Solvang just to see it. Hyper. No, I'm not related to the late Tammy Faker or Emily Faker. Well, it's because she's in my chat and watching my show. I like having Brandy around. It's hot outside.
Oh my goodness.
Not here. Bike trails run through Solvang. Yeah, I think it's a pretty beautiful area. My brother actually did, because even though I'm only 27 years old and I got gray really late compared to my siblings. They started when they were, I think my oldest brother started getting gray at 17. But then my youngest brother turned it. He had it so black that it kind of got so dark that had that blue tone to it, and everyone thought he was an immigrant because he drove a taxi and had that color hair. So that wasn't a good thing. Brandy streamed 3 times in one day. Baker canceled his one stream. Yep, boys are stronger than girls, except for Danes. I actually wrote in Brandy's chat yesterday, do you ever sleep? Because she has been putting in the hours. But I like that her and Mo took over when my frailing old body didn't work.
My frailing old body.
Yeah.
Lord.
Well, I didn't start having gray hairs. Well, I'm 27, but until my mid-30s. And then it really got bad when the kids got older. I have 2 older brothers, and 1 younger sister. Jamie, are you not concerned that dog barking? No, it does it 24/7.
Yeah, they do it everything. And the Amazon guys here, that's why.
I heard that as something I shouldn't hear it as. The analyze guy.
No anal anything. Amazon.
I think you can get something for that on Amazon as well. Yeah, my beard started going gray when I was in my 40s, but my temples start going in my mid-30s. Is it ever hot in Denmark Fahrenheit? Please answer Celsius beyond my understanding. Yes, but this year has been really crappy. I think I've been on the sunbed 4 or 5 times. Normally August will be way better than it's been this year. We normally have a good late May, early June. Then we get a wet July. August, September, we get pretty good weather. But again, hot in Denmark is, people in Arizona would laugh at us because, again, 3 days of about above 77 degrees is a heat wave in Denmark. So if we call it a summer day if it hits 77 degrees. That's a summer day. So that's like a thing that they'll say it on TV, but
it never gets hotter than that, really?
Well, yeah, of course it does some days, but it's a heat wave when we have 77 degrees 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
Because we don't have many 77 days, but the last couple of years we'll have we do get it in the 80s, and then everyone's miserable. Baker, are you part of that group tonight at 7? Jerks, nurses, Kim, Betero, etc., on someone's channel? Didn't hear it yet. If not, you should be. Work on it, please. Someone reached out to me 3 weeks ago asking if I wanted to do some fundraising thing. I said, see, I haven't heard anything from anyone since then. A lot of people have been asking me, but none. I know nothing. Which, if you follow this channel for a bit, you know I don't know anything. But I haven't been invited for any. Well, that's not true. I've been invited for Tom has something tomorrow at 9, I believe. 9 in the morning. I didn't really. I said because I have to go see my daughter tomorrow, so I might join him after 9 a.m. But other than that, I don't know anything. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to reach out to me because of the time difference, or just because I'm not grifty enough. 77 is late fall, early winter here. Yeah, but we if we get above 60, that's when we start start taking the most of the clothes off. It's not been a good summer. Sadly, Mass have had a drinking problem and a stroke, so he doesn't remember what happened this summer. It's been way too wet, and we haven't got. Last year, I was all of August. I was doing my pre-show nap on my sunbed. I've done that 3 times this year. Well, on a map, I don't think people. We're quite normal. We're on height with what is it in Canada?
What are you trying to think of?
I'm just trying to see to show how far north we actually are, because then people can probably understand why we have the weather we have.
Mm-hmm.
So Denmark, the only sexual arousing country in the world, is situated here, which is you can't show it. It's around this place in Canada. I don't know if anyone lives up there, but we are way north of the U.S. Can we get it in a? Can't you normally get it? No, I don't want to see it from space. Can't you see it like a ball? Why can't I do? Yeah, I know it's the third planet from the sun. There used to be a show called that, but I want to see it round so we can. Oh, it shouldn't show what I'm going to. Why can't I do that? Well, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't do that either. But no, we're really far north of most of the U.S. That's why we don't enjoy so many hot days. Well, just remember that we also have 4 months of the year where the sun never really shines that much. We have a lot of winter depression. In my later years, I've begun to take vitamin D in the winter to fight back, because you get a little depressed when you don't see the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I live here, where God don't hate us.
I love the sun. I just prefer it to be about 70 degrees when the sun's out.
Yeah, 70 would be beautiful weather.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we go to Spain and get that crazy weather, and then we go back and say, we understand why the Spaniards are so lazy. Can't work in that heat. Let's eat some cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we got 102, riots would break out. So what's called a heat wave in Denmark is considered spring in Texas. To be fair, we're going around in coats if it gets below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, but whenever it gets above 40 degrees, I will be in shorts and a sweatshirt. That's nice, balmy weather, as long as it's not raining. Copenhagen, is that where men can window shop? No, that's you're thinking about Amsterdam, the red light district, or you can get that in Hamburg as well, and Flensburg in Germany. We don't have. We used to have way more Smeg stuff. We had a street called Eastergade, and there was a lot of Smeg stores in that where you could window shop. It doesn't really have that anymore. We're becoming prudes. You can still get a Smexy draft beer down there, but back in the days, we had a lot of. We were the first country in the world to release corn. We were the first place it was legal to to sell and produce corn pictures.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, Vilu, it's because no one. Why? Who lives in Finland? It's that's far north. I would love to go to Finland someday.
You've never been?
No, it's not really a place you go as a Dane because we have enough rainy bad days, so we don't sit around and think, let's go to a place where it's even colder and even more snow. Now we when we go on vacation, we say, let's go like Fedorowski, let's go to Spain, let's go to Italy because that's hot, that's nice. We don't get that. Then we go to Sweden or France to ski, but I'm not a weirdo, so I don't ski. So the summertime. Well, if you live where Mads live, over there, it's kind of a thing having a summer house in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to go there ever. Everyone who ever goes to those places complain that the mosquitoes is the size of a Volkswagen and will suck you dry in an afternoon. So no one goes there. But that's the thing over there. Where I am, we normally either go south and visit a beach down south, or you'll go to Jutland, that's the peninsula of Denmark, and rent a summer house over there, or just stay home. Go out. Again, I have 10 minutes to the beach. I can just go down there. I don't need to go anywhere. It's been nice. You only tried it once? I can try it all the time. It's a YouTube word. Try taking the C out of it and do something else. Yeah, only weirdos ski.
Yeah. I mean, I love the snow and the cold weather, but I don't like being out in it.
Yeah, my sister has an apartment in the Alps at a ski resort that she rents out and uses, and she has, hey, you want to come down? I said, yeah, let me come down in July when the Tour de France rides through the Alps. I'll be there. Watch the cycling. She said, yeah, but skiing is amazing. Nope, it's cold, it's wet. I'm not going to do it. You're Scottish. Being naked once is a big thing. Well, we actually have. I don't know if they still have it. I haven't been there since I was like a teenager, but we have a beach that's primarily. Technically, you can be nude on every beach in Denmark, but we have a beach there's a small island just down the road from where I live. There's a secluded little beach they used as a nudist beach. So yeah, we have that a lot.
Yeah.
Or you have windows in your house so you can just look out of it.
Yeah, I like looking, but I do like driving in the snow. I have a truck now, so like 4-wheel drive in the snow is fun, actually.
Oh, the mosquitoes in Croatia were horrible. Can't remember those. I remember that I could get Danish beer in Croatia. I like that one. That was weird coming back when I was in Croatia. That was when the war was just ending in the Balkans, and we came to the hotel, and we arrived in all our gear because we had to go through a war zone to get to the hotel. So we were in all our gear and came down to the beach, and they were serving Danish beer. That was nice. So and the good thing about when I was deployed, because it snowed a lot there as well, but we had a Finnish camp on the other side of there was a river called the Doboj River running through the city called Doboj, funny. And on the other side, we had a Finnish camp, and they had a sauna, and they taught me to like Lappi Kulta, I think it was the name of it, which is Finnish beer. That's really, really good when you're sitting in a sauna, running out, jumping in the snow, and going back in and just getting hammered. That's a really good thing. Finns have a great way of sharing that culture. Yeah, you're just a little smaller population-wise than we are. Yeah, I don't like saunas. I like steam bath, but I don't like dry heat.
Oh, is the sauna the dry? Like,
yeah, it's where you wood fire.
Gotcha.
And throw the water on it once and twice. I don't like that.
Yeah, the steam
San
ones are
Diego.
better.
Lived in Holland as a kid and loved the winters, but I'm totally beach girl these days. I've only been to Holland in the summers, so I don't know how not a Russian. How is your summers? Helen from Holland. How's your winters? Well, we drank that because it apparently was a Finnish beer, but I think maybe it was. I think Medita said it's not a beer you drink in Finland. It's just an export beer. That's why you're mostly silent in chat. Why? Who did say what?
Yeah, what do you mean?
You're not mostly silent in chat.
No, she's a chatty little Kathy.
Yeah.
And we enjoy it.
We do. Yeah, it's kind of like the Australian Fosters. No one drinks it in Australia. Well, you fire with the woods, and then you have the coals, and then I don't like saunas. Only when I'm drunk.
They call them like Arizona rooms around here because it's just like dry heat.
But you're like more Scandinavian than I am. The area you live in. Why don't you call it saunas?
Mm.
How many Swedish, Norwegian, Danish cities are in the area you live in?
I have no idea.
It's
I
probably
never really
a lot.
checked into it.
What? But I think the Midwest is heavily Scandinavian.
Oh, I mean, yeah. But I can't give you a number.
Please keep Croatia under your hat. 80 to 100. I die in those heats. Yeah, saunas are for sweating, but I can't with the dry heat. I feel like I can't breathe in it.
So, yeah, and it takes longer to sweat in dry heat than it does like the sauna or the steam room.
Yes, I actually have that Philips Hue system to mimic daylight as well in the wintertime. Most Americans live in the coast and Texas. You have a big snow scene or ski scene in California as well, right? Yeah, they have mountains down there.
Like north.
Yeah. Yes, that's the cat that hates Jamie.
What are you talking about?
Iris said none of your animals like you.
Oh, her? She's my little fluffy gray cat. She normally doesn't like anybody else but me, but she was all over Iris, so Iris is the cat whisperer.
Is it possible to speak German without sounding angry? German always sound angry. No, Elvis have a song. Muss ich gehen zum
Mushy skin?
Muss ich gehen.
Sound like you said mushy skin.
Muss ich gehen zum Stadtlein rein. I can't remember it now. It's really bad German, but yeah, Germany is. I had one of my first girlfriends from Germany.
Mushy skin.
Muss ich gehen?
Mushy skin. Mushy skin.
Did you suffer in Tennessee weather? Well, it got a little clammy.
It got a little clammy.
Well, but it was such a weird weather because when Valhalla picked me up, when I walked out of the airport, I thought, Jesus, it's humid. Then we drove to get me my Baconator. And then it started pouring rain. And then we stopped to get some beer. And it was the nicest evening breeze. It's the weirdest area I've ever been in. It had, if it had snow, it had all season at once. I could sit on the porch in the morning when I was on with you and Mo and Marissa, and thinking, Jesus Christ, this is going to be a great day. And then Valhalla came over and said, oh, did you hear it's flash flooding? There haven't been a drop out here. But nice thunderstorms.
Yes.
Und du, mein Schatz, bleibst hier. Yeah, I was watching the match earlier, and please, United. Jamie, it's 9 o'clock. It's time to get off.
Yep, and I'm starving.
Remember, at 7
Central,
Ada will be having her Saturday bingo night with gifts. Jamie apparently won some tumblers.
I did, and I didn't know. I don't know how to get it. Nobody reached out to me. I don't know how it works.
Yeah. But go over to Ada's channel at 7 Central, and maybe you can win a tumbler that you can just forget that you won, so Ada would sit and feel bad about it, not giving it to you.
I'm the worst.
Where does Valhalla live? He's in Tennessee. East Tennessee, more east than Valhalla. Well, that's I like that part of the country, but also like Delaware because that reminds me of Denmark, flat and near the ocean. But I like the Tennessee area because of the mountains and the Midwest. The people are nice there.
Yeah.
Not Jamie because she didn't cook anything for Irish, but
I did too. I made her breakfast every morning, a full spread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jamie always sticks around for the door prize.
I know. I'm terrible.
Yeah, well, we went to Dollywood. That was amazing. And then I was denied service at a arcade. Yeah, I think the next time I go over there, maybe I'll need to go to Smoky Mountain and get some liqueur. But I can't bring that much home, so it's kind of wasted. The Ozarks, I've seen a show about it. Seems like a lot of inbreeding and crime. Have you seen the show? That's all it's about.
No.
I'm afraid to go hiking because the expert told me there was bears in the mountains, and I can't use a pew-pew. Well, I can, but I don't think I'm allowed to. I'm not the biggest fan of Jack Daniels. Yes, I think he's in West Tennessee. Jamie, Ronnie will send you Ada's email.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but it's kind of, is the Ozarks is in somewhere in country, right?
What?
The Ozarks. You don't know anything about the Ozarks. What state is the Ozarks in? Because Jamie can't help me.
I can't help him.
FB Food Fairy sent me.
It sounds like something in Arkansas. Oh, Missouri?
Missouri. They have an arch. Oh, that's from that's
Never mind. People are saying Arkansas and Missouri, so both.
Arkansas have a diamond. Mississippi has nothing.
Oh, okay. Ozark Mountains are southern Missouri, northern Arkansas.
So here, Jamie, right here.
Oh, that's cool.
So this arch, that's the gateway to the west in not St. Louis. Salt Lake, no, Salt Lake. What's the city that the gateway to the west is in?
The gateway to the west?
Yeah. Isn't that what you call that arch?
I have no idea.
Yeah, St. Louis.
Oh, St. Louis? Okay.
Is it? Yes, yeah. Jamie, do I know more about America again than you do?
Than me, yeah. You probably know more about Michigan too. I lived here my whole life.
I only know. Well, I have seen pictures of the arch, but my brother-in-law used to work for a company whose main office was in St. Louis, and he hated going there. He had to stay there for a week every year, and he said there's absolutely nothing to do there. He could play golf, and that was it. Kirk's, no, she will be given an outfit. They said that at the last hearing, I believe.
Yeah. To figure it out.
Yeah. If you want to see a very unimpressive monument, don't go see the new Arc de Triomphe in Paris. Designed by a Danish guy. Worst modern architecture crap in the world. Really bad. The old Arc de Triomphe, very, very cool. The new one, waste of time. If you go to Rome, go and see Hadrian's column. That's actually cool, because the first two lines of it was made so you can walk around it and learn about Hadrian's. Yeah, I believe it was Hadrian's triumphs. And the first part of it is actually the opening scenes from the Gladiator movie. Even though the rest of it is crap. Historically. They also have a great space museum.
That'd be cool. I like museums.
Bye, J. Ray.
Hi, J. Ray.
Designing Women. Oh, no,
Designing Women. It was like a 90s show.
Oh.
Sitcom.
Yeah, they haven't any of that in Minnesota. Minnesota is flat. Yes, there's a new arc in what's that part of the city? It's from the early 90s, mid 90s. It's out in a they tried to make it like a big business area. It's just a really bad area. It's really, really, really not impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, is it time to say the magic words?
Say the magic words.
Everyone, 8 tonight, 7 Central, which is bananas Eastern. Go over there. Make sure Jamie doesn't win another tumbler that she can forget to pick up. Tomorrow, I might join Tom on a show. Apparently, there's some kind of thing tonight from some of the people about the can read. I don't know. Haven't heard anything. I'm not good enough to be on the grift list, so I don't get the invites. I don't know. It's probably because they know I'm sleeping. But again, if you want me on, you know where to find me. And I was about to say something smart. No, I wasn't. I'll never say anything smart, Jamie. We forgot nothing.
Yeah.
Don't pee on the
movie night
electrical
Discord
fence.
tomorrow. Join the Discord. We do lots of stuff in there. Baker has voice chats, and we talk about the cases we're doing. And
yeah, and Jody wanna make an arts and craft channel in there.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, you can do that. And remember, like Ren and Stimpy said, never pee on the electrical fence.
What exhibit are you referring to?
I'm going to make this 100, Your Honor.
All right.
100.
100.
Because it is 100%
100%.
correct.
Objection, Your Honor. So you literally built a cannon?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Go
right, I'm in love.
Go back. Please do that again. Oh, that was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
While I'm waiting for this, did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I wouldn't have cared.
You wouldn't have cared?
No.
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
No.
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
Probably did. Everybody has.
So
Everybody has.